College in Schenectady. High school lacrosse invades Frank Bailey Field tonight. A Section 2 showdown between Niskayuna and Shaker. And welcome upstairs, everybody. Glad to see you with us on a picture-perfect night for high school lacrosse alongside former Syracuse midfielder Guy Waltman. I'm Chris Watson. Highly anticipated matchup because it is two of the best Section 2 has to offer. Shaker 14-0, ranked 7th in the state in Class A. Niskayuna 12-2, ranked 4th in the state in Class B. Guy, it's as simple as this. Two of the best teams we've got around get together tonight.
Two of the best teams in the section and two of the best teams in the state. Shaker being one of the only two teams in all of the state who are still undefeated. And then on the Niskay side, although semi-away here on the Union College turf, it's their senior night. So this is the night that some of these guys wait 5, 4, 3, or 2 years for, really, since the time they pick up a stick in the first place. So with all the emotion for them tonight, they are not going to want to let Shaker continue the undefeated season.
Regular season finale tonight for Niskayuna as well. And we've got some talented players on the field. Take a look at the leaders in Section 2. Start with assists. You've got Doxy from Niskayuna, Julian from Shaker, then Cheney and Quinn, and it really continues assists and then into goal scorers. It's the same guys in a different order. It's tremendous talent on the field tonight.
Yeah, so both of these teams are two of the best teams in the area, but we also have some of the best individual talent on the turf here tonight as well.
Well, let's talk about one of the key players, and let's start for the visitors, the Shaker Blue Bison, Nicholas Pepe.
He's number 4. He's a senior, and he's going to Siena. He wants to keep his talents close by. He's got 5 goals and 1 assist in his last game against Shenendehowa, so you know he's up for the challenge against the Warriors tonight.
For Niskayuna, it's a name you've heard often because he's been such an impact player on the varsity level for so long, Lucas Quinn.
He's the last in line of a Quinn lacrosse family dynasty. He's going to Syracuse, just saying, number 17, and he's racked up a whole lot of points on 44 goals, 24 assists.
It should be a good one. Two of the best that Section 2 has to offer. It's Class A against Class B, and we are closing in on the sectional tournament, but we got to get through the regular season first. The finale for the Shakers and the Niskayuna teams as we get together on Spectrum Sports. Come on back.
Don't wait, don't hesitate, don't miss this event.
It's DePaula Chevrolet's Memorial Day Savings Extravaganza. Shop 000 savings, 0 down, 0 security, 0 first month payment, like Equinox, $239 a month.
Save this week at DePaula Chevrolet, DePaula.com.
It's a new day, a fresh start. Because Time Warner Cable is now Spectrum, redefining what a cable company can be. With promises to make and promises to keep. And over 90,000 employees working hard every day to earn your business. Welcome to America's fastest growing TV, internet, and voice provider. Welcome to Spectrum.
Abby, I'm seeing this hashtag, "Where's Billy?" all over the place. What's up with this?
Well, he's scoping out the trip. Let's take a look.
You could be with me right here in Maui, Hawaii for the time of your life. That's right, part of the 20-city trip that we're taking around the world, and no purchase necessary. Come in and register at any Fusillo store where everything is. You know, that trip's going to be huge.
You heard the huge man. Hawaii's actually closer than you think.
Register today.
Need a big reason to buy a mattress? It doesn't get much bigger than the Metro Mattress Memorial Day sale event. Why wait for the holiday? Come in now and get 0% interest for 60 months on all Tempur-Pedic complete sets. Plus, save up to 50% on a Simmons Plush Queen set, just $5.99. Don't wait, our Memorial Day sale is going on now. Visit us online at thenewmetromattress.com and don't forget our 1-year guarantee. Metro Mattress.
Don't wait, don't hesitate, don't miss this event.
It's DePaula Chevrolet's Memorial Day Savings Extravaganza. Shop 000 savings, 0 down, 0 security, 0 first month payment, like Silverado, $279 a month.
Save this week at DePaula Chevrolet, DePaula.com.
Back at Frank Bailey Field at Union College. Tonight it is high school lacrosse here in Schenectady. Shaker and Niskayuna getting together. Let's take a look at starting lineups and start with the visitors from Shaker. Got a lot of talent on this field. We talked about Nicholas Pepe in the midfield. Luke Julian's a good one. Colin Cerati, John Chaney also make up the attack. Stiso in the midfield is a good one. Their starting goaltender is a pretty good story as well. He's a senior who was a goalie, then played varsity defense, and is now back in the goal. His name is Brendan Morrison. He's as big as the cage, and I mean it in as a good way. 81%. He's been awesome this year.
Yeah, I would say he's doing quite well, 81%.
All right, for Niskayuna, pick anybody on the page, and they're probably going to play collegiate lacrosse. They probably will be playing Division I collegiate lacrosse. They are so stacked. Know where Doxy is, know where Quinn is. Wolf is a great one. Their defense, though, very young in front of a first-year starting goaltender at the varsity level. Max Renesi is a junior. 68% this year between the pipes, trying to help pull that defense towards the end of the season.
Yep, and they also got Julian Pigliavento on the close D. He's a sophomore, very lengthy. He does a great job of playing distance. He really used that stick to his advantage and create distance for himself in between him and the attacker.
Good crowd at Frank Bailey Field in Schenectady, really just down the street from Niskayuna, playing senior night here on the turf at Union College, and we're glad to be with you on Spectrum Sports. Set it in the open. This is highly anticipated. It's really two of the best that Section 2 has to offer on a Class A unbeaten Shaker. Guy told you in the open, one of two unbeaten teams left in all of New York State. The other one, Cold Spring Harbor. They've just won 2 straight state titles, so they're pretty good. Great night for lacrosse, 74 degrees. Guy and I hoping the sun drops sooner than later. It's straight in the eye line from across the field on the opposite side of the press box here at Union College. So we're high atop the perch on what used to be a fraternity house, and glad to be with you and have a bird's eye view of this one. And highly anticipated, I think it's safe to say, 14-0 Shaker, 12-0 in the suburban South. Niskay 12-2, 12-0 in the suburban North. And Niskayuna's 2 losses not only came from teams out of section, teams out of state, because Mike Borgang plays such a tough schedule. They played some of the best around, Darien out of Connecticut, St. Anthony's, and they took a couple losses.
And it's that tough schedule that prepares you for games like this. Senior night on the Union College turf, goalies getting in, defense is getting set, and our first face-off of the night.
So get to know the face-off men. For Niskayuna, number 8, the junior Owen Sweeney, and for Shaker, number 24, the junior Aiden Fuhr. Fuhr is one of the best around. Sweeney, no slouch in his own right. And the battle of the X so often makes or breaks big games like this. We will be watching closely how it goes tonight.
Yeah, I mean, if you were to ask me a key to the game, it's so easy as a broadcaster to say that face-offs is a key to the game, because face-offs are a key to every game. But what I'm going to say tonight, as it pertains to face-offs specifically, is a 50-50 matchup here tonight at the face-off X, because Owen Sweeney for Niskay is so dominant, upwards at 80% success this season. So 50% at the face-off X tonight really favors Shaker, because Niskay is used to having such dominance. Shaker in their zone right now, their defensive choice.
Yeah, and primarily what they play all year long. This is not a matchup zone tonight. This is how head coach Sean Hennessy has really built his defense over the years. And a first shot from inside that defense by John Full goes wide, backed up though by Niskay. And this is just how Coach Hennessy has built his defense. He told us 2, 3, 4 years ago he played zone because personnel-wise they needed to compete. And they're not playing it that way now. They're playing it because they're good at it. Inside feed, good stick check from behind, pops out of the stick of Connor Wolf. Good close on that by the Shaker defense to prevent a layup there from Wolf.
So here's the thing with zones. You have to still have sort of man-up principles even though you're in a zone, meaning, look, when you're guarding the ball, you're guarding the ball. I mean, it's essentially still a one-on-one, man-to-man type situation.
Deep win from the outside with a rip from 20, and that's how Lucas Quinn starts the night. Good start for the Silver Warriors.
From the Quinn family, lacrosse dynasty, off to Syracuse University. Number 17 is no stranger to starting off games with goals like this. Steps in, sidearm.
Guy, I actually think that ball was going down. Like, he shot it mid, and it looked like it was dropping as it went in. So often it's a riser. That one actually looked like it was coming in lower. He's a talented kid.
You got to throw off the goalie. I mean, very successful goalie this season. He's only allowed 17, well now 18 goals on the whole season. When we had that graphic up, I don't know if people really got that. That number 17 that's the total amount of goals he has allowed this entire season. So he's really having a lot of success in there. And the way that you sort of counteract that on the offensive end is we have quite the aggressive scrum at the faceoff X. Refs letting him play. The way you counteract that is you have to change the plane on your shot. That was a sidearm shot, like you said. Traditionally, your shooters go high with that, but he sort of went down low.
Face-off win for Shaker, won by Aiden Fuhr, controlled by Michael Stiso. Stiso, number 6, one of the offensive players to keep your eye on. Watch 2, Luke Julian. Colin Cerati, 3. Nick Pepe, we told you about, number 4, had a monster game last time they were on TV, 5-1 against Shen.
Shen, another very, very strong team in the Section A. You're here tonight, though, with Niski and Shaker. We're really seeing a game of 2 different lacrosse philosophies. We're seeing zone defense for Shaker, man-to-man matchup on the Niski side. We're seeing 2 different styles at the face-off X. Owen Sweeney, a traditional clamp for Shaker, more of an attack-the-hands type play. We can talk more about that upon the next face-off. But right now, Shaker looking to get their first shot of the night. It's going to come soon.
Double team comes, but beating it and driving in. Shot is stopped. It was taken by Cerati, knocked all the way back out. Save was made by Renessi, and they'll fight for a ground ball at midfield. And out of the pack come the Silver Warriors. Justin Wise with it.
Yeah, this is Justin Wise. I must say, one of the greatest kids you'll ever meet. I've been coaching Justin since he was a really young boy, but he is, in the words of Coach Delano on the Niski side, this is big talk. Ready for this? The best short stick defensive midfielder in all of Niskayuna lacrosse history. That's a big, big praise and a much deserved praise for Justin Wise, number 30.
That is a long list right there to keep that praise on Justin Wise. They think he is that good for the Silver Warriors at defensive midfield. Niskayuna offensively, you've already met Quinn. But Full and Wolf are guys you'll need to be familiar with as well. And this is the philosophy of Shaker. They're going to play that zone all night long. We'll see where Niski kind of picks and chooses to take their opportunities here tonight. Man open for a minute on goal line extended, but quickly pulls it back out.
You see almost some man-up type offense here for Niski. It's move the ball around the outside. You create a rotation that sort of comes up in the favor of the shooter, meaning your sticks can stay in the strong hand as you rotate through. Usually have a left-hander come in from the opposite side. Morrison scoops up that ground ball with the attempt by Niskayuna and turns it away, and now Shaker with a chance to go the other way. And offensively, that was one thing Mike Vorgang had said in talking to him today. When they pack in their zone like that, we're going to have to be patient. We're going to have to mix it up. We're going to have to try different things. And that was the way they're going to try to beat the zone. Driving in his Pepe, and he strikes with the first for the Blue Bison. And Shaker's on the board on the goal from Nick Pepe. A great dodge for Nick Pepe. I called this goal. I didn't say it out loud. I didn't want to interrupt you, Chris, but I saw this goal coming right from the 30 and 40-yard line as he was making this clear. Look, he's got a full head of steam. He's got a full head of steam. And if you're on the defensive end and you're backpedaling, I think that was Logan Michelson on the defensive end. He's got so much momentum going at Michelson. It's tough if you are that defensive midfielder to have any sort of explosiveness, to match the explosiveness when Pepe makes his move. He goes right down the alley, and Niski didn't have a slide man prepared. Pepe picks up goal number 27 on the season, and if you were with us for our last TV game, when Shaker played Shen, Pepe went off 5 goals and an assist, and that was one of the guys Mike Vorgang had kind of circled as a known quantity for Shaker, one of the guys that they had to know where he was at all times. So Niski slowing it down, and from the Shaker side, Luke, he pumped a goal in from like the 20 to start the game. But if you're Shaker, don't change a thing. You know, it's just one of those things. If you're going to lose a game from a guy who's cranking 20-yard shots, well, then okay. That's sort of the one. That's the one. If you're Shaker, that's the shot you want him to take. Not that Luke will be any shy at all to take it. Right. But I wasn't either back in the day. But those are the shots you want. I mean, on a basketball court, right? What do you want to do? You want to lose from guys who are shooting from 35 feet away. On the football field, what do you want to do? You want to put the hands in basically the hands of anyone other than the quarterback.
Right, make them beat you with the deep ball, or maybe if you're going to take away the pass, make them beat you with the run. I get what you're saying.
That's exactly right. Exactly.
And here's going to be another outside rip for Quinn. That one will go wide. Morrison was lined up, but it went to his right, backed up by the Silver Warriors.
I mean, that shot, again, that was another shot from 20 yards. You got to have a lot of mustard on that ball in order to sneak it past a really talented goalie from that far away, because there's a lot of reaction time for the goalkeeper.
The backstory on Quinn is one that we've probably beaten to death in our time together doing broadcasts, but it bears repeating when we have them again. Quinn committed to Syracuse University before he ever played a varsity lacrosse game. That's how high his sights were set. And an inside feed leads to a Connor Wolf goal. Wolf, no slouch himself, will play collegiately at Stony Brook. Niskay up a goal.
More on Quinn in just a second, because that was a beautiful feed. He's going to have 2 points on tonight off of the assist. But as Connor Wolf cuts in from the left side, Connor being a bigger boy, he can take a hit or two when he catches it on, right in front of the crease. He can take, a body from a defenseman, keep his composure, pump fake, get the goalie off his toes, shoot to miss the goalie and hit the back of the net. 2-1, Warriors. Back to the faceoff X. Like I said, 50-50 from the faceoff X is definitely going to favor Shaker tonight, but Owen Sweeney just so dominant with that clamp. As you see, he wins it one more time forward to himself.
But a violation goes against the Silver Warriors. They'll turn it back over, so Shaker catches a break. They're losing the faceoff, but then gaining possession. And Shaker down by a goal at the 6-minute mark of this first quarter has it back. Pepe in his stick. Sean Hennessy, the 11th year head coach of Shaker, felt like this was a team that was kind of building towards this season. To be undefeated this late has certainly been a nice run for them, but they felt like they'd been building for a while for this as the save is made. And Niskayuna scoops up the ground ball. Renesi turned that one away, but Shaker has had this run going for the last couple years, and they're looking to get over the hump this year. Pass intercepted and taken away by Jack Cheney. Nice takeaway for the Bison.
That was a great takeaway, and that is something that the ride, teams who really focus on having a tough ride, those are the type of plays that really add up over the course of a game, and that sounds so cliche, but when you don't ride, or if you just don't even put any effort into one that you do have, then really what's the point? Why not just let Niskay clear the ball, right? But teams who have a very tough ride, when you come up with turnovers like that, or steals rather, those act almost like second chances in basketball. You get an offensive rebound, you get another chance of putting the ball in the net. And for Shaker, who's sort of outclassed tonight at the faceoff X, having a tough ride is going to be sort of the equalizer for them.
If you can't win at the X, get possession by any means necessary. Force the turnovers, get the ground balls, possess the ball. Here's Cheney looking to circle, doubles back. We'll dump it back for Julian, who circles and can't hit the far post. That one will get out, and it'll be a Niskayuna ball. Both the goaltender and one of the long sticks were racing for the corner, and it is awarded to the Silver Warriors.
Let's see if Shaker can put up another tough ride.
See if Doxey can get ahead of steam. He's got good wheels. Here goes Michael Doxey, feet inside. Not a clean pitch and catch. It's down dangerously close in front of the crease, but shoveled out of there by Shaker. And now on the move go the Blue Bison through 3 men. Ball is down. Play on situation. Now a flag comes in. A flag down. Likely to be a loose ball push against Niskayuna. We'll wait and see for sure. Thought they were going to let him play, but the flag comes down.
Coach Vorgang a little upset, saying, I'm not sure that was your call to make, is what Coach's argument is here. The flag actually came from the ref behind the play when there was a ref in front of the action who had probably a better view. So Coach Vorgang saying, that's not your call to make, let the boys play.
You can hear Mike, 25 years on the job at Niskayuna, and he hasn't lost any of the fire or the passion, that's for sure.
You can hear Mike 25 miles away, is what you can hear.
Push goes against Niskayuna, 30 seconds on John Full. So the first man-up opportunity of the night belongs to Shaker, down by a goal, coming up on 4 to go in the first. See if Shaker can move this thing around, find the open man, +1 here.
This is probably the only version of a zone you're going to see the Niskay D play all night. When you're down a man, you don't have the luxury of playing man-to-man. So you pack it in. You, instead of guarding a number, you guard an area on the turf.
Cheney with the bounce bouncer, and he sneaks it in. It was a bounce from well outside the crease, but it snuck in just under the crossbar, and Cheney ties the game at 2.
That shot was no accident. That is a practiced shot. Because in order to bounce it like that, any novice would bounce it from too far, and that thing would soar right over the top of the net. That's a precision shot right there. No different than when you shoot, to the corners of the net, sidearm or underhand, right? And you call those really precision shots. That was the same thing right there, knowing exactly where to put the ball on the turf to find the back of the net.
50 goals now in the regular season for John Cheney. That is a huge, huge number, and this game now tied at 2. Shaker strikes on the man up to even the game. They fight at the X. Sweeney battling, and the call will go against Shaker, so Niskay gets it on the Sweeney win.
Now, the hold that you just saw there at the faceoff X, that is that's the result of the style that Shaker has at the faceoff X. It's a move called attack the hands, whereas Owen Sweeney, he uses a move called the clamp, where you're trying to push the back of your stick over the top of the ball. Attack the hands is different. You're trying to throw the shaft of your stick over the top of the ball, and then what happens is if you lose that, if you weren't first, well, all of a sudden now your hands are on top of Owen Sweeney's hands, and you're basically just holding him down, and that's what the ref was able to see there.
Silver Warriors getting a little bit of pressure as Doxey lost it, got it back. Now Doxey skips it across. Quinn from the angle into the waiting stick of Morrison, who makes the save. That was right on target for Morrison's stick the whole way.
This is exactly what Shaker wants to see. They want to see these outside shots coming.
Long pass ahead for Shelmerdine was knocked down and now taken away by the Silver Warriors. The long pole brings it ahead, Liam Evans, and Evans stays in for a minute on the offensive set, but now the long pole jogs back off.
They're starting to warm up the lights here on the turf because the sun is going down. I'm sure my partner...
Not soon enough from where we're standing. I love the vantage point up here, but there's the one drawback. Quinn, not afraid, turned away by Morrison. It sits there. He can't cover it up yet. Now does. And another save for Morrison as Quinn has taken a couple rips from the outside. 2 points so far, but a couple saves from Morrison as well. Morrison was really good in the Shen game last time we had him on TV as well.
Under 2 minutes left here in the first. Score tied at 2. Shaker still getting some subs in here, taking their time.
Mentioned that Shaker's one of only 2 unbeaten teams left in the state. Cold Spring Harbor, the other. They've won the last 2 Class C state championships. They're the only unbeatens left, and Cold Spring Harbor is riding a 22-game win streak, longest in the state. Shaker, 14 wins this year. That's the second longest win streak in all of New York. That's how good this year has gone for Sean Hennessy and the Blue Bison.
And a lot of that success is attributed to the success they're having at the faceoff X. Not traditionally known to have a top faceoff presence.
To the backhand, denied by Renessi as Julian tried to sneak one past, and now with under a minute to go, off on the races is Doxey. Now on the feed for Wolf, and it's knocked down from behind. Rebound is turned away. Morrison was in on it. I think John Stewart, the long pole defenseman, was in on it. And now a whistle, and they'll stop playing and give it to Shaker. Frantic pace there, but Morrison up to the challenge for the Blue Bison.
We got a trip without the ball. So a play-on scenario. Shaker comes up with it. You hear Coach calling for the last shot, saying slow it down. Not going to call for stalling.
25 seconds to go in the first. Both men down on the deck. And they'll whistle that one. Cerati had fallen down, and they're going to give it to Niskayuna.
19 seconds is plenty of time to get a great attempt in.
First man can't catch it, but the second man does, trying to catch Shaker before they can set up in that zone. Full plays it back.
Last 5
seconds to go. Might have to be Quinn. He takes a peek. Feeds on the doorstep behind the back, and Full beats the buzzer and does it with flair.
That's one of the things that I guarantee you they're not practicing every day in practice. That's right there. That's just being a good lacrosse player. That's just an athletic play on both sides. Just saw there, Quinney took a look at the clock. He's running over the top of the field. Awareness, game awareness, knowing that the clock is running down. He took the time necessary to turn, look at the scoreboard, see there's only 5 seconds left, just as we were calling it out ourselves. A feed inside to the around the back.
Put that in your top play, Spectrum News. 3-2, Niski after one in full. Goes behind his world. Come on back for quarter number 2.
Enorme, gigante, gigante.
What are you doing, Tom?
I'm studying all the different languages and the way you can say huge around the world.
Well, why would you need to do that?
Because it's Hugeathon 2017. We're giving away 2 86-day trips around the world.
Well, how can I register? I want to register.
Stop by any Fusillo dealership in the state of New York, or you go online to any Fusillo website and you register.
Wow. How did you say that again?
Enorme.
If you want the ultimate night's sleep, we have the ultimate mattress. Introducing Pure Talalay Bliss, exclusively in upstate New York at Metro Mattress. This all-natural dual comfort sleep system balances uplifting support and luxurious comfort. Each bed is handcrafted in the U.S. from the world's best all-natural Talalay latex for hypoallergenic sleep and pressure relief. Sleeping is believing, so come in today and experience Pure Talalay Bliss. Metro Mattress.
Extended. Play.
Instead of going for the ball himself, he let his teammate get the ball, and instead he took out the Shaker player going for it as well.
And talking to Mike Wargang, we spoke about having to play the zone defense, and one thing he wanted his offense to do tonight, analyze defense better. As Quinn takes a rip, it's right there for Morrison, who covers it up, and now we'll have the opportunity to set the clear. But look at the zone they were playing, try to pick better shots. He liked the way they were shooting coming into this game, but he thought it was going to be a key. Shoot effectively tonight against Shaker. He wanted to put a lot of shots up, but they had to be good shots as well. Moving the other way is Pepe. He's still got it.
And it's tough to value the quality of those shots. They are good shots, meaning he's getting his hands free and he's getting a good clean release.
Stiso running downhill, save made by Renesi, who sprawls out to cover it up and makes the save.
As I was saying, so he's getting a good release, but he's still just so far away. And Shaker is a very talented goalkeeper. As we're getting another successful ride here.
And a timeout taken by Mike Vorgang and Niskayuna. They were in trouble of not getting that thing across, and they were having trouble just playing pickup with it. So Vorgang burns the timeout early into this second quarter with his team leading by a goal. Told you Mike Vorgang, hard to believe, 25 years now the head coach of the Niskayuna Silver Warriors and the man who built this program up to what it is. And 2015 state champs. First state title for any Section 2 boys or girls lacrosse program. Still holds. Nobody's won one since then, but Vorgang is the guy that kind of got this program to the top of the mountain.
And as you said it, in 2015, it was able to get that proverbial monkey off of his back and now can just focus on repeating.
And then you've got Sean Hennessy in the middle of that pile over there, 11th year head coach of the Shaker Blue Bison, a 92 Shaker grad, part of a sectional championship team in his playing days, played collegiately at Herkimer and then at Adelphi. And one thing he's kind of preached to his team as this season has gone on, don't be afraid. Respect everybody, and that's what they've done. Guy mentioned in the open, it is senior night here for Niskayuna. 13 seniors playing their final regular season game. This team's got the postseason coming up next week. Lucas Quinn's a special one here.
And there are some of the members of the Quinn family. A very emotional night for a lot of these guys. All schools, not just Niskay. Everyone does a great job with their senior night.
What do you remember senior night when you were going through the final go-round? What comes to mind when you think about it?
My mom and how much fun she had watching the games. She's even here tonight watching, even though I'm no longer on the field. It's just what it means to be a part of the Niskayuna Lacrosse family.
John Hennessy told you 11 years as the head coach and has really done a fantastic job. And this is a year that they've been building towards and trying to take it to the next level, kind of get over that proverbial hump. As a late flag will come down and a penalty will be coming up on Shaker unless Niskay scores here and wipes it out.
That was an offsides play against Shaker, because on the clear, Quinn was able to just bulldoze someone right over the midline and get that offsides call. Talk about something you don't see every day. They're actually playing, well, of course, now you have a whistle, but they were just playing offense with 6 players man down because Shaker had 7 guys out there.
You have to point it out. Once you go off sides, you just stay over there because you're not going to get any less of a penalty. So they already caught you. You're already offside, so just go down there because you're going to play it out until either the ball gets turned over or you score the goal. So you're right. You were playing man down 7-on-6. Don't see it very often.
That's exactly right.
So Niskayuna now goes man up in the more traditional 6v5, so we'll see what they can do as they go man up after the offsides call.
A 2-player swing.
Full. That's a big rip. Check that time. It was Griffin King pulling it down and trying to hit that far post. Goes just wide.
The goalie trying to tempt him to shoot near side. He was positioned a little bit more to the offside of the goal than you would normally see. Full not falling for it, but still just missing wide to the far side.
Doxey over for Full. Now a quick one on the side for Tyler Gregory. That one goes out. Gregory getting run on the man up here.
Gregory being a quickster, but pretty lethal from that 10-yard range. Shaker doing a good job, though, of fighting it off.
Back to even strength lacrosse now. Full has that one knocked down, taken away for a minute, but never really lost possession. Chris Kalikia knocked it down, but Blue Bison couldn't come away with it. Doxey faces it, fakes it, gives it back to Quinn. Now Full rips it, going for the top corner, no. Out and still backed up by Niskayuna. Full's a senior, told you he'll play at Stony Brook. You can go up and down this Niskay roster and tell where guys are going to play at the next level. A lot of them at the D1 level, but that's how loaded this team is with talent. How about a quick feed inside? And they just couldn't connect with Tyler Gregory. Good close from behind. Good stick check there. Pop that one into the air. Shaker talked about that zone. That's one of the principles of it. They got to collapse on the ball once it gets behind them, and they did a good job there.
Zone defenses allow for so much more versatility. It's a much more malleable form of defense. You can pack it in, when you have teams who can't really shoot from the outside. You can play a little bit further away from the goal where you otherwise wouldn't be able to in a man-to-man scenario. The difference between man-to-man defense and zone is really small. The only difference is sort of how you help each other. Because again, when you're guarding the ball, It's still one-on-one in that respect. It's just different from man-to-man and how you help each other, how you communicate.
Quinn goes across the field. It's denied. King took the shot. Morrison down low to make the save, and Brendan Morrison is playing with confidence here early on, drops down to make a save, and I think we alluded to it early on. Morrison is a young man who started out as a goaltender, was a goaltender in the modified in the JV program, came up, played defense at the varsity program last year, and then when the need was there to have a goaltender, he slides back in, and they love what he has done this season.
He's a football player. He's just an athlete is what I mean by that. So he has the ability, because of his athleticism, to just pick things up relatively quickly as long as the hand and eye coordination is in place, which of course it is.
And Niskayuna turns it over. Failure to advance, I believe, is the call on Silver Warriors on the far side. They never got it in the box, so Shaker will get it back, and Mike Borgang not in love with that call. Mike, one of the good guys in all of the sport, but I tell you what, he rides officials as well as the kids ride. When you're playing defense, he gives them an earful, but he gets the most out of his guys, that's for sure.
In a way that you need a certain amount of cachet.
That's right.
To be able to.
And he's built up a little credit maybe over the years that he can pull it off. John Hennessy's in that same boat too.
Coach Hennessy is such a great guy. He's a guy who really doesn't see the sort of geographical barrier at all. In the Albany Power League, he's just right there coaching all of the athletes, no matter where they play. Niski, Shaker, otherwise, he's there. He's coaching everybody. He just wants to see lacrosse in this region improve.
That's one thing he said when we were talking last week. Not only is his school improving this year and his program's getting better, he likes it when the section gets better, when the competition is better for his teams and the teams around him. It helps our area. Stiso rips it wide. That's going to get all the way on a play. But he appreciates when level of competition is better because, Guy, you know it as well as anybody. When the section tournament is over and you advance to the state tournament, the level of play more often than not is a leap and bound above what you've just seen, and he wants those teams to compete at that level. Cheney's shot is denied by Renesi.
Yeah, I mean, and I can only speak for myself, but I would like to think that my school of thought is shared. When you get through the section, you just root for each other, even though they're locally your rivals. As we have a really, really aggressive scrum in front of the net.
Renesi turned a big one away there and made the save. Renesi in and out of the crease, I believe. Was in, was out, was back in, and that'll turn it over, and it'll be a Shaker ball.
Just to finish on that last point is your enemies during the season, and locally you are rivals. But when you get out of the section, for me, granted I can only speak for myself, you're rooting for your region.
Right.
You don't want to see, even though Niski and Shen, for example, are rivals, you don't want to see Shen go down to someone from, the far west of the state or central New York. You want your region. You really root for your region at that point.
Pepe charges in, bounces one high over the crossbar, backed up by Shaker.
And with Coach Vorgang and Coach Hennessy being close friends and the camaraderie that is generated in this area through the Albany Power program, it becomes easier to do that.
Cheney working one-on-one behind, comes around goal line extended, nowhere to go, dishes it off, goes it back up top for Pepe. Under 5.5 to go first half. Still 3-2, no scoring in the second quarter. We were 3-2 after one. After the behind-the-back goal kind of brought everybody to their feet, but nothing doing sense. See if Pepe can change that. They're not giving him the middle.
Watch screen, son.
Here's the matchup right here. I'm speaking with Coach Delano for the Niskayuna, the defensive coordinator, essentially, for the Niskayuna squad.
Stiso still fighting for it. Shoots it and it's saved. Rebound pops high into the air, and it's going to be a whistle and a Niski ball. Oh, flag was down. Apologies. There was a flag down on the far side. I did not see that flag.
3-0 white with a cross-check hold for 30. 3-0 white with a hold.
30 seconds on Justin Wise, and it'll be Shaker man up.
Speaking with Coach Delano, defensive coordinator for Niski before the game, Justin Wise, number 30, he is basically the key to the Niskayuna defense. He's the best short stick defensive midfielder in school's history. And tonight, he actually has the task of guarding Shaker's best offensive player. Normally a job reserved for the long stick midfielders. But tonight, to the defensive strategy here going into it is, let's put Justin on him. He's got the footwork, he's got the quickness to be able to stay with them, and we'll just slide early as necessary.
Well, we talk so much about Sean Hennessy and Shaker and the defensive philosophy. The way he says he likes to play the game is old school, in the sense that he'll go when he can go, but his theory, and we talked about in the last TV game, is 10 and 10. Hold them under 10, get to 10. That's how he wants to play this game. Yeah, reminder that the rights to this broadcast have been granted by Section 2 of the New York State Public High School Athletic Association. Any rebroadcast of this program without the written consent of Section 2 and Spectrum Sports is strictly prohibited. This is a production of Spectrum Sports.
But to that philosophy, the 10 and 10, as you said before, look at the way this quarter is going.
Right.
Scoreless. We had a pretty exciting first quarter with some pretty exciting plays individually, but this has been a battle of the defenses.
Well, it's kind of funny, things come full circle, right? You talk about how Coach Wargang and Coach Hennessy go way back and how their roots are connected. The Sean Hennessy story goes like this. Sean Hennessy played at a junior college power, Herkimer County Community College. Sean and I were classmates at Herkimer together. He played for a legendary coach, Paul Wareham, who was one of the best college lacrosse coaches in history. Paul is now the head coach here at Union. So Sean now coaching on his former head coach's home field here tonight, and not the first time that's happened, but still a pretty special memory. And I know Paul Wareham has meant a lot to him, and it means a lot to this community. Coaching here at Union has really put that program at a new level in his time here.
Very, very special communities are built around this sport. It's something that I think is very special to the sport of lacrosse.
Well, Shaker's going man up here, so let's see what they can do with it. They got a man streaking down, and it's Stiso, and he was one of the guys that Niskayuna did not want to lose. When they went man down, they lost Stiso, and he stings his first of the night.
Someone's ears were ringing, hearing us talking about a scoreless second quarter. Got to come out and change that on the man up. Didn't waste much time at all. 30 seconds goes by quick. Let's take it high to high.
Stiso, 22 goals in the season, 1-1 tonight. They call him the Swiss Army knife for the Shaker team, kind of the do-it-all, jack-of-all-trades utility player. Well, he certainly was there, right down the chute. Nobody picked him up, man down, and Stiso can burn you. We are tied at 3, just under 4.5 to go first half.
False start. This is going to pick it up. Waiting for the whistle. Chance to create some offense. Good time to go.
Here goes Doxy on the run. Plays it behind. Quickly behind. And let's see if Quinn can do it himself. Double team Kane. Pulls it down. Gives it away.
The reason why that was such a good time to go is because you basically have a man-on-man, man-to-man situation because the substitutions are yet to happen.
And they were going to try to take advantage of that. They were going to try and play fast when they got the opportunities. Don't let that Shaker defense get settled in. Attack them before they're in their zone and kind of control the unsettled situations was one way Mike Borgang wanted to try and win. Quinn's open on the inside. Quick pitch and catch. Nice feed from Tyler Gregory. And Quinn just too good to be that open.
I have such an advantage up here having the bird's eye view. This was another one where if you had the luxury of the bird's eye view, you could have seen this play coming. Quinn going in there. The camera angle a little too zoomed in there to see, but Quinn going in there, faking a back screen, and then he just slips it right in front of the crease. Communication between Quinn and Gallagher without having the need for any words spoken. It's just one of those things where you're making that eye contact and you know what the guy's going to do. He comes in, the body language says it all, fakes a screen, slips it, quick stick right in front of the net.
Nice feed from Gregory, good finish from Quinn, and Niskayuna back in top by a goal. Back to the X, and this time Pure pulls it back, but they haven't won it yet. Pepe had it, doesn't control it, still a fight situation. Pepe comes onto the pack. That's a big win for Shaker, trying to answer the goal from Quinn on the other end. They fight on. You know, you and I talk a lot about winning face-offs. You don't have to win them pure to still win them. Get the wing players to come in, and that's what you did there to get a possession.
In the course of, maybe 3 seconds, you have a one-on-one scenario turn into a 3-on-3 scenario. So you see all the time where one individual at the faceoff X will be far more dominant with their skill set, but if the other individual can just keep the ball on the ground for long enough, allow the wings to come in, create that 3-on-3 scenario, that can equalize some of that skill that one individual may be lacking.
See where Luke Julian's going here. We haven't called his name a lot yet. Shaker has been unable to jumpstart him, and Julian's such an important part of their offense, the quarterback of their offense, according to their head coach. Let's see where he goes here. All the way across the field. They can't complete the pitch and catch. Amos Grimm in and out of his stick. Now it'll turn into a fast break opportunity for Niskayuna, trying to catch him unsettled. Nothing doing for Gregory, who wisely waits for the rest of his offensive teammates to get down there. And now the midfield comes on, and Niskayuna will reset. 2:19 to go, first half.
One of those unfortunate plays that might haunt you later if you are Coach Hennessy for Shaker. A turnover caused just by a miscatch, not a check. It was just a skip pass that was mishandled. And those are the ones that you really can't have if you're up against a team like Niskayuna. And the same thing goes for Niskay to Shaker. You got to take care of the ball.
Moving it quickly around the perimeter of the Silver Warriors. Quinn was thinking about it a couple of times, but has kept moving it around. Doxey will do the same. Back for Lucas Quinn. Under 2 minutes to go now in the first half. Quinn with it. Hidden ball trick time. Quinn and Doxey. It's Doxey. Back for Quinn. No hidden ball needed. Had it all the way and lines it up. Low 5-hole for the goal.
I got to say, that was pretty convincing.
Yeah, agreed. They sold it, but then quickly gave it right back. Those two guys, they got a little thing.
I actually was fooled, I'm not going to lie. I thought Quinny still had the ball.
Uses the bounce, stings it low. Quinn strikes again. 5th goal of the night for Niskayuna. 47 of them now on the year.
The glove down to the turf, popularized by Keogh from Syracuse, former teammate of mine. Glad to see everybody repping it.
5 goals, by the way, for Niskayuna, and Quinn has been in on all of them. 3 goals, 2 assists. So he's had a hand in every point for the Silver Warriors tonight. It's not a surprise. I don't say it because I'm shocked. I just felt like y'all should know.
Y'all, huh?
Well, apparently I'm down south every once in a while. Drop that on you. Timeout with Niskayuna in possession. Minute 27 to go first half, and Mike Borgang burns the timeout as Niskayuna will get together and talk this over. Now a 2-goal lead here tonight. That's the largest of the night. Been a 1-goal game all night long, so 5-3 is the largest we've been at thus far.
No matter who you are, no matter what school you came from, truly, no matter whether you won or lost, these are the games that you remember. Under the lights, on a college turf, family, friends, coming to see you.
On TV.
Television, yeah, I was going to say television broadcast. Guys like Chris Watson announcing for you.
Clearly. You say that. Meanwhile, it's old home week for you over there. You're running for mayor as we walk through the stands, and not a person. They're more excited to see you than anybody coming to the game tonight. Mr. Niskayuna is back in the house. 13 seniors on the Niskayuna team, by the way, and we talked about this being the regular season finale for Niskayuna. 1 more to go for Shaker. They got a game on Thursday against CBA, and then the sectional meeting, I believe, is Friday, so they'll seed, and then the tournament will start first part of next week. Niskayuna may very well wind up with a week off by the time everything is said and done, the way the byes could fall, so it may be a while before the Silver Warriors play a meaningful game, and Shaker's going to try and run the table in that Class A tournament, get themselves a sectional crown. We should tell you the section championships, Section 2 championships are on Spectrum Sports as well, May 30th and 31st. We've got 2 games on the 30th and 2 more on the 31st. We're at Mahonison High School for the section finals this year, so excited to bring those to you. If you don't know, New York State now has 4 classes of boys high school lacrosse, girls as well. They've added Class D this year, so we'll crown the first ever Class D champ in Section 2, and later this year, the first ever Class D state champion. So 4 classes across the board, and we'll have all 4 Section 2 title games for you coming up in just a few weeks here on Spectrum.
What would some of those Class D schools be? Do you know?
I know in the Syracuse area, West Hill is one. I think they're the number 1 ranked team. Greenwich might be the highest ranked Section 2 team. Not really a surprise. Bob Cipollini's always got a good group in Class C, but now they dropped down. I think they're up there as well. Those are just some of the ones that kind of pop off the top of my head. Morrison's going to fire this thing the length of the field. He's going to get all the way down, and the goalie will come out to play it. For a hot second, I thought we might have a Ron Hextall moment, but Renessi wants no part of that. And now here come the Silver Warriors, quickly to Doxey, rips it, and Morrison had it, lost it, and it did not go over the line. That was dangerously close to going under the crossbar, but Morrison hangs on for dear life, and Sean Hennessy's going to burn a timeout with 25 to go. Take another look. Oh, it hit the top and came down.
Hit the crossbar.
And then he almost kicked it in.
I'm a little confused, though, but why all of this transpired. Why did he throw the ball the entire length of the field to play the play prior?
With a minute to go,
I don't understand that play. Did he think that there was less time than there in fact was? Was there some trickery going on by the Niskay fans? I don't know.
Yeah, he did fire at the length, got all the way down there, and they quickly came back his other way. You don't see it often, but it didn't work to their advantage nor harm them, I guess.
Well, and he's such an athletic player. Morrison, he's such an athletic player. He's a football player. He's got wheels. You know, he can run out of the cage.
So I told you that Quinn is in on all 5 of the goals for Niskayuna tonight. A couple assists. Here are his 3 goals. This kid has been special for a long time. If you've been watching Niskayuna lacrosse, you know all about this guy.
And Coach Vorgang is speaking with him before the game. Luke Quinn is going to be one of the players that he really misses dearly. He's a kid that Coach Vorgang has been coaching, seems like forever.
Yeah,
agreed. To really quote the guy, he's been just around in the Niskayuna lacrosse family for so long. You see his brother right there with number 17 on the sleeve. That's John Quinn, former teammate of mine. But even though there are no more Quinns on the come up, I'm sure they will still be very active members of the Niskayuna lacrosse family. That is just the way things are.
And he will be teammates next year at Syracuse University with a former Shaker Blue Bison. Stephen Rafis has had a really nice year. Syracuse eked down a win in their tournament game against Yale in the final of the first round, so he'll be teammates with him. And obviously local lacrosse fans very much anticipating UAlbany's game coming up this weekend against Maryland in the quarterfinals of the NCAA tournament.
Absolutely.
You and I done a lot of games together and talk about the excitement of that tournament. The sectional tournament around these parts will be just as fun. So it's a great time of year to be a lacrosse fan at the high school or collegiate level.
Not to have a poor segue here, but just 10 seconds left.
Pepe trying to circle and score, sends it just wide. Pepe with 4 seconds to go. Shaker doing it one last crack at this thing. Cheney will put it into play. Cheney can't get the feed. It's knocked down on the turf. Quick rip backwards and nothing doing. Good defensive play by the freshman to close the first half. Walter Ross was all over that one and not about to give up a cheap one to end the first half. That is it. First half in the books. Niskayuna, a 5-3 lead. Didn't have a lot of scoring in that second quarter, but the Silver Warriors up 2 after
2. If you're watching this, you're probably new to Spectrum. So let me welcome you to America's fastest growing TV, internet, and voice company. At Spectrum, we work hard every day to bring our customers the most advanced, fiber-rich technology in the industry. We believe that our customers deserve the best value with no hidden fees, no unexpected surcharges, and most importantly, no contracts. We're committed to bringing you the best TV, internet, and voice services and have exciting things in store for you. But in the meantime, you should continue using your Time Warner Cable ID, the Time Warner Cable TV app, and keep visiting twcc.com to manage your account. I'll be back to tell you more about Spectrum's new products, services, and features as they become available. Until then, let me officially welcome you to Spectrum.
Only one man could be behind an event so huge.
Who's behind this? Let's not get ahead of ourselves because it's Huge-a-thon. 2017 at all Fusillo dealerships across the state. That means huge selection. That means huge savings. And that means a trip around the world.
86 days, 20 cities around the world. 2 winners register to win online or in store because it will be huge.
Need a big reason to buy a mattress? It doesn't get much bigger than the Metro Mattress Memorial Day sale event. Why wait for the holiday? Come in now and get 0% interest for 60 months on all Tempur-Pedic complete sets. Plus, save up to 50% on a Simmons Plush Queen set, just $5.99. Don't wait, our Memorial Day sale is going on now. Visit us online at thenewmetromattress.com and don't forget our 1-year guarantee. Metro Mattress.
Creative decorating here for senior night. The Niskayuna supporters have taken over Frank Bailey Field. We're high above the perch right there. I don't know. See me waving? Top of the screen? That's us. On top of whatever frat house this used to be. He's Guy Waltman. I'm Chris Watson. Bird's eye view from up here. Listen, it didn't disappoint. I mean, you could say both teams are offensively gifted in this game. Could be 11-10. Maybe you wouldn't be surprised. But in this situation, good on good offense, defense, it's going to be hard to score that many goals tonight.
Well, it's good on good offensive and defensive talent, but it's also excellent scouting with both teams. They're right up the road. Coach Vorga and Coach Hennessy, they do such a great job of really scouting each other. You keep track of how your opponents are doing all season long. Niski knows Shaker's going to go with the zone. Shaker knows who to look out for. Lou Quinn, Ty Gregory, some of these guys. So there's really no secrets coming into a game like this. It all comes down to effort and execution.
And I've made such a big deal about this being Class A against Class B. The thing to take away from that is these teams won't play again. This is their only meeting this season. So come the tournament, you're going to play great competition. This is the ultimate tune-up for the Section 2 tournament because this will probably be the best team you see going into potentially the finals if you make it that far.
Exactly. On the Niski side, senior night, there is really no better opponent in the section that you would want for your season finale.
Right.
And then for Shaker, undefeated, 1 of 2 in the state, still undefeated. Was it 14-0?
Correct.
They really want to be tested before going into the states themselves.
So we talked about face-off being an important factor. 7-2. Owen Sweeney's done a very good job. I tell you, Fuhrer had a great game last time I had him on TV against Shenendahoa. Sweeney has looked really good here tonight at the X.
Yeah. So if you are Shaker, right, not to take away from Owen Sweeney and his dominance, we know that he's very talented, over 80% success rate this season from the X. But if you're Shaker, you might want to think about changing it up. The possession count needs to start to tip towards the Shaker side if they're going to come out on top tonight. What they can do is they can experiment with some deep holes at the face-off X, or just try and keep the ball on the turf for longer.
One thing that we talked about, the coaches, you said, the coaches with the scout and how well they know each other. The known quantities in this game are very well known. One of them on the Niski side, Lucas Quinn. It's hard to take away what he means to an offense. Shaker, zone, man-to-man, whatever you want to play, and they're a zone team. They haven't been able to take him away. Sometimes it's impossible, but that kid has not disappointed tonight.
It's just one of those things where, I feel like I'm always very heavy on basketball analogies, but
right.
You have guys who just, doesn't matter if the hand is right in their face, they're still knocking down those jump shots, right? So it's one of those things where Luke Quinn is just so talented on the lacrosse field, and so Shaker, it doesn't matter, you can be right on him the whole time. Right. If he catches the ball, you only have half a second because he's going to get a quick stick. He's just one of those guys where there might not be a recipe to stop him.
5-3 Niski at the half. We'll see what's in store in the second half. We'll take a break. When we come back, first half highlights and stats. Thanks for being with us on Spectrum Sports.
Folks, Billy Fusillo Sr., it's Huge-a-thon 2017 throughout the state of New York. Fusillo.com. You can go online. You can look at all our stores, 25 stores throughout the state of New York. You can see what vehicle might fit you, whether it's new, pre-owned. You can schedule servicing. You can go online and fill out financing. Whatever you regardless of what you're looking for. Fusillo.com. It's that easy, folks. Fusillo.com gives you all areas, every Fusillo store where everything is huge.
Need a big reason to buy a mattress? It doesn't get much bigger than the Metro Mattress Memorial Day sale event. Why wait for the holiday? Come in now and get 0% interest for 60 months on all Tempur-Pedic complete sets. Plus, save up to 50% on a Simmons Plush Queen set, just $5.99. Don't wait, our Memorial Day sale is going on now. Visit us online at thenewmetromattress.com and don't forget our 1-year guarantee.
Metro Mattress.
Do you have these, but want these? Let Hippos show you how to take control.
At Hippos, we simplify home control.
TV, music, lighting, shades, cameras. Control it all with the touch of a button.
From anywhere in your home. Whether you're looking to install new or upgrade your present system, our technology experts will help you every step of the way.
If your control is out of control,
it's time to call Hippos.
Expect to see some big changes coming to Huck Finn's warehouse this year. We can't wait for you to see our brand new look. In addition to a newly renovated interior, you'll find several brand new categories. The most current designs the home furnishings industry has to offer. You just won't find these styles anyplace else. The selection has never been better. The quality is second to none. Whether you need a power reclined sofa, a beautiful new area rug, or a super comfy adjustable bed, you have to see the brand new look at the warehouse at Huck Finn. Possession.
Too good. But I guarantee you one thing I'm going to try. I'm going to try to take you right here to San Francisco, part of the 20-city tour stop that we're going to take on our trip around the world. Don't miss the opportunity. Any Facillo store, register now, no purchase necessary, and it's going to be huge.
If you want the ultimate night's sleep, we have the ultimate mattress. Introducing Pure Talalay Bliss, exclusively in upstate New York at Metro Mattress. This all-natural dual-comfort sleep system balances uplifting support and luxurious comfort. Each bed is handcrafted in the U.S. from the world's best all-natural Talalay latex for hypoallergenic sleep and pressure relief. Sleeping is believing, so come in today and experience Pure Talalay Bliss.
Metro Mattress.
In racing, the objective is to pick a winner. Now during the Honda Memorial Day sales event, picking the right car at the right price has never been easier. Take the 2017 Civic, named Best Overall Buy Award winner for 2017 by Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com. Now bring home the new Civic for just $149 a month. Compare Honda to the competition. The smart money is riding on Honda. Don't miss the Honda Memorial Day sales event at your Capital Region Honda dealer.
Get ready for the Capital Region's most legendary and spectacular sporting event, the 39th Freihofer's Run for Women, Saturday, June 3rd at 9 a.m. in downtown Albany. Share in the magic by registering now at freihofersrun.com.
Picture perfect night for high school lacrosse, that is for sure. We have waited a long time for weather like this in the Capital Region, and I know later this week, I think Thursday, we're going to get the 90-degree. I mean, we're going to jump from winter to fall to spring to summer in like the span of 4 days around here. So people that have been waiting a long time for nights like this is just what you asked for. Sweeney trying to win another one at the X. Unable to win it cleanly, but the ground ball, loose ball scooped up by Niskayuna, and they will quickly push ahead. Doxy across the field. Extra pass, going to go wide. Thought maybe they'd take it right down Broadway, but the pass to the side to try and get an extra shot and get it to full, and it goes wide.
That would have been an exciting way to start the second half.
Talk about not letting them settle in. That's the definition of it right there. Don't want to let that zone pack in. You're going to push the tempo if you get the opportunity. Niskayuna did right there.
It's hard to create imbalances isn't the right word, but it's hard to create really confusion for the defense when you are up against a zone. It's better achieved when you have loose situations like that, off face-offs, off of clears. Unsettled situations is really what Niskayuna wants to try and take advantage of tonight. They came close here off of that face-off.
Quinn sets up shop on the far side, looks over and gets a play call from Mike Vorgang, and now puts it into motion. Sliding off Quinn a little bit, so he swings it over to the far side. Doxy in the middle of the field. Doxy will take a rip. That one bounces right up into the belly of Morrison, who makes the save. Didn't have to go far for it. And then a push from behind will be the call against Shaker. You can see it from all the way up here. Sean Orr gave a little shove in the back and took on a Silver Warrior, so Niski will continue to possess.
And the Oscar goes to
a guy in silver.
Yeah. Syracuse bound Quinny, so it goes to.
So here's Doxy faking, now skipping it across for Griffin King. King moves it back to the middle of the field for Tyler Gregory. Back for King with room to shoot. King sails it high. It almost felt like a half-hearted shot there from King, like he wanted to and then thought better of it, and before he could pull it down, it came out of his stick. Either way, Niski continues to possess.
That is exactly what it looked like.
Quinn open in the middle of the field, back for King again. No, this time. Here's Quinn in the middle. It worked once. Morrison's up to the challenge the second time and turns that one away. That was pretty much where he scored to start this game. Exactly that spot on the field.
Where he scored from, but took a different approach this time around as Shaker looks to take advantage of an unsettled situation.
Pepe goes behind the cage, and we haven't really talked a lot about this Niskayuna defense and how young they are. That's one thing that they're kind of growing up on the fly. Pepe takes the shot, saved. He can't stop it. It trickles across the line. It just squeaks past Renesi, and forget about flag down. Niskayuna will take the goal. Pepe strikes to make it 5-4.
The play we had to end the first quarter was probably the most exciting play of the game. This was easily the best play of the game. Came all the way down, cleared the ball himself, as we see one last highlight here, taking shots to the head. 4 guys all around him. He came all the way from a clear, looped it around to the backside of the goal, did a face dodge, which you don't see very often, comes through the crease where all the Niski defenders are. A very strong power cradle allows him to keep the ball in his stick, and he earns his 37th point of the season.
Pepe, the Siena-bound senior, will stay locally and play for John Speck in Loudonville. And the penalty, which was a slash on Niskayuna, will still be enforced. So Shaker, if they can scoop this thing up, will have a man-up opportunity, but then Pepe with a push from behind pushes Sweeney down, and Niskayuna man down. If they can play pitch and catch or essentially just keep away, they can run off this man-down situation.
It's one of the best ways to do it. Just take it and keep moving.
Normally we would show you the man down time on your screen, but that time is actually not being kept here on the field tonight, so that's not a number we can provide for you. So we'll just keep you apprised as to when Niskayuna's penalty releases and when they are back to even strength lacrosse.
Shaker not moving out of their zone. The second they come out of that zone, that's really what Niski's been waiting for. So you know what? Let's just let them ride out the substitutions.
And the penalty now releases, and you'll see the sixth player come on, and Niskayuna will go back to even strength lacrosse and now may quickly go into their offensive set. Doxy skips it across for Quinn.
What's the phrase, Chris? If it ain't broken, don't fix it. Is that what they say?
I think that's what I've heard once or 10 times. Doxy quickly across for Lucas Quinn. Quinn to the middle of the field. Quinn camped out, now back for Doxy with room to shoot. Gives it off for King. King nearly takes on his own man, Tyler Gregory, with a dance move. A hop step and a leap away from a broken ankle, and he is safely back into the play.
I'm not sure if Coach Vorgang taught him that little dance move, but it looked good.
Doxy to the middle, back for Full. Behind the cage for Wolf. Wolf now scoots it up top. Quinn fakes it, keeps it. And now Doxy one more time. And there are just so many weapons on this Niskayuna team. We talked about known quantities and who you had to stop, but even the guys that may not be 1 and 1A in the scouting report, they're just as dangerous. That's how loaded this team is.
Well, weapons, really, with the exception of Lou Quinn, who have been held, or sort of kept at bay. Shaker's zone doing a really, really great job. And speaking with Coach prior to the game, Coach Hennessy for Shaker, saying, why do you play a zone? He actually accredited it to Niskayuna, saying a couple of years ago when Niski was making more of their state runs in 2015 when they ended up getting the state championship, he said, we can't really compete with them in a man-to-man scenario on the defensive end. We have to change it. And look how successful it has proven tonight.
As a guy who loves the basketball analogies, many years ago, Jim Boeheim played the 2-3 zone, and now 30-something, 40-something years later, they're still playing a 2-3 zone in the Carrier Dome. If it works, stick with it. Sean Hennessy's found his 2-3 zone.
You'll find some who wish they played man-to-man, though.
I would never. Julian dancing behind the cage, trying to come around goal line extended, doubles back, turned away by Renesi, who makes the save, and then they'll fight on the end line for it. Continue to fight, a whistle, and it will stay a Shaker ball. Colin Cerati with it.
Compared to what some lacrosse games have proven to be, you could look at this as a low-scoring game, but it is not at all lacking thrill. Both teams are playing their guts out, and that's what you love to see.
Cerati and Julian work the give and go. Here's Julian, stutter step. Now he'll feed up top. O'Connor pump fakes it. Andrew O'Connor hangs on. Now gives it away. Ian Shelmerdine with it. Shelmerdine kicks it across for Amos Grimm. Now Shelmerdine gets it back.
Trying to see what Shaker's doing here on the offensive end. It's tough to tell. Doesn't look like they're able to really set anything up.
Shelmerdine with nowhere to go finally has to give it away on the far side. Does give it away, and carrying it back behind is Colin Cerati. Check that, it's Pepe. Pepe takes it behind, and this is John Chaney now with it. Chaney looking for O'Connor. High bouncer, and lined it up the whole time. Didn't have a lot on it where Nessie makes the easy save.
Easy save and an easy clear for Justin Wise, who also plays on the basketball team for the Warriors, as you can see there. Had some nice crossover looking moves.
Defensively, we've talked so much about the shaker zone, but Renessi on the other side, the Niskayuna goaltender, is a nice story. They really didn't know what they were going to have when it came to goaltending, and then you've got this young defense in front of him, a freshman and a sophomore, and he not only a pleasant surprise, but kind of found money for Mike Morgang, and they really like the way that young man has not only played this year, but developed this year and kind of become a real mainstay back there for them.
Well, not to take anything away from Mike Morgang, he's a lacrosse savant. He really just knows the game better than anybody I've ever known, but the defense for the Warriors is really a testament of Coach Delano, who does a great job year after year. Ooh, as a shot
Quinn with the fake, and he rings it off the football crossbar, sails it about 50 feet in the air, and finally out of play.
Shots like that.
What can't Quinn do? How about the rip from Doxy? And I'll tell you what, when Niskayuna gets room to shoot, look out.
But shots like these, while you have car insurance,
or you're glad you didn't play goalie, right?
Exactly. Some of these shots at the pipes going all the way to the parking lot.
See where Quinn goes, working one-on-one. Quick feed on goal line extended, shoveling it under, but he can't get anything past Morrison. Never really got it on him, but it was certainly worth style points. I think that was Full that took it.
You go for style points every night here.
Absolutely.
As I'm sure everyone at home can see too, when you're
didn't even wear my fancy shoes tonight. Doxy skips it across for Quinn. Quinn settles in the middle, now gives it off for Griffin King. King, quick feed inside for Full, and he finishes. John Full streaks right through the crease and puts it home. Niskayuna back up by 2.
John Foles, lacrosse IQ, just as high as his academic IQ. He's a great student and a great finisher on the crease.
That'll be the second of the night for John Full. 34th on the season. And again, 2 goals, the largest lead for Niskayuna here tonight. So 6-4, back to tying the largest lead they've had. And I think we got a ball in the field, so we'll have to get that on a play before we can get things reset here. And we'll send Sweeney and Fior back to the face-off X to get this one started. Under 3.5 to go, third quarter.
Look at these 2 Bulldogs getting ready to go. Well, one of them's a Bison, but...
I laugh at these. It only encourages you. That's the problem with the situation. And a violation quickly called against Fior, and Niskayuna's got that one. Sweeney stays on, and now we'll jog back off.
Sweeney being a true Fogo, face off, get off. Wins the wrestling match at the face-off X, and then goes to the sideline to take a water break.
Yep, wait for the next one. Yep, get ready for the next one, exactly. So Niskayuna sends another midfield out there, replacing the defense with offense, and now they're ready to go. Quinn with a pump fake on that far side. Now he'll feed inside, can't get it through traffic. A lot of blue jerseys there in the middle. And before it's all said and done, call goes against Niskayuna anyway, so Shaker comes out of the pack with the ball.
Niskayuna in the crease, and look at this. What is this Pepe?
That is Pepe.
Ooh, he had a full head of steam. He just chose not to use it.
Coaches say he's the fastest guy out there. He's a two-way player. Plays the all-around game and known for the big play. Pepe might be about that time.
Now look who's on the defensive end for Niskay. Offensive midfielder Luke Quinn.
Quinn chasing around Stiso down there. Here's Julian charging in. Double team comes and he beats it anyway. Luke Julian had been held scoreless here tonight. Picks up a big goal there to make it 6-5.
Face dodge down the left alleyway. But because it was a face dodge, he still had to bring the stick back to the right side of his body. Niskay D had a chance for the trail check, just missed it. Look at this. Quite the season.
Julian, just a junior, will also play collegiately at Siena. Will be teammates again with Nick Pepe, but another year of high school lax for him to go. 2:20 to go, third quarter. And they didn't win the face-off at the X, but the Poles come in. Shaker had it, but a violation goes against them, so they turned it over. Those are the kind of plays they may need to start getting to go their way here down the stretch. Saw a good look at Mike Gorgang calling it in offensively, getting his team set up. Quinn with it. Fakes it, but keeps it. Lucas Quinn looking to go one-on-one with Stiso now. Jump shot, and it's turned away by Morrison, who makes the save. Now outlets ahead to Stiso with Doxy in pursuit. Stiso still carries it in. Julian, extra pass, Cerati, and with some heat on it from close range, we're tied at 6.
Wow. That was a lot of heat from like 5 yards away.
He wasn't going to take the chance of missing it short, leaving the 3-foot putt on the lip. Look at this.
He's using his driver on the putting green. That was
good gravy.
See, I got other analogies.
Well, that's a huge play, and we are now tied at 6. Tied for the first time when it was 3-3 in the second quarter.
That goal, a consequence of a deep shot by Luke Quinn. Off the shot, the D-Midi just released immediately for a transition move.
And Sweeney wins that one clean. Big spots in the game, and Sweeney wins it.
That's the power of a true, successful Fogo. Any momentum that Shaker tries to generate for themselves just gets snatched away because you can't keep the possession.
And look at, you and I did an Albany game together this year. Look at what U Albany's got going with TD Ireland this year. They've changed how they play the game of lacrosse. They're always an offensive team, 15 goals a game. Yeah. But when you're possessing 70% of the time, look out.
Yeah, and that is the best example of it at the college level. Owen Sweeney probably the best example of it at the high school level. Ireland.
Cutter streaks down, but Morrison makes the save. Tyler Gregory was left all alone, coming right down the middle, but Morrison makes a huge save. Now Pepe goes the other way, streaks in, and save turned away by Renesi. One on one end, the other on the other. The goalies are getting into a battle now.
And he is the fastest player on this field. Did you see that? So, I'm not just saying that. That was explosive.
Cheney trying to circle back. No, Pepe with it. Spins away from his man to the middle of the field. 2 men come to him, but he still gets it away. It goes wide. Nick Pepe trying to make things happen here.
And Pepe should join the track team. He is fast.
We're at 15 seconds to go in the third. Shaker can hold for 1 if they want and try to take the lead. Here's Cheney. Back behind for Julian. Julian looking for a cutter. Not going to happen. Puts it on the carpet. Push from behind. They'll let him play on. And that will take us to zeros in the third quarter. It hasn't disappointed so far. So we'll have ourselves one heck of a fourth quarter. Tied at 6. A showdown between Class A and Class B. We got 12 minutes to figure it out.
That thing you do every day, it's your thing, and it matters to you and to the people who rely on you. That's why you rely on your network. It's the foundation of the enterprise. We are Spectrum Enterprise, and we deliver the network and cloud services vital to your enterprise. Our nationwide fiber network is reliable, it's scalable, it's designed to meet your company's ever-expanding technology needs. And now, it's more accessible than ever before. Our cloud services provide the IT infrastructure you need, and our experts work with you. We get to know your business. Then, we design and deliver the right solution for the job. So your clients, customers, and employees can rely on you. And you can keep doing your thing. Because that thing you do every day, it matters. Spectrum Enterprise.
Shaker has drawn even in this game 6-6, and they close out the third with a Cerati goal that was a blistering shot from close range. Colin Cerati, and we're tied.
Taking no chances. A chance to tie it up at 6. 12 minutes to go. 12 minutes of lacrosse time. Don't expect this game to be over in 12 minutes.
If you're making dinner plans.
This is going to be a battle.
Well, Colin Cerati, according to his own head coach, he had great things to say about number 3, but the one that stuck with me is he makes it happen. That was a situation where you couldn't afford to let that possession go by, and he wasn't about to take a chance of a save made on the doorstep to deny him, to let Renessi take an easy one. He put everything and then some into that shot from, as you said, inside 5 yards away, and that knotted the game at 6. Morrison has played very well for Shaker. Renessi has played well for Niskayuna, and we're going to try to sort this thing out in the fourth quarter. Sweeney and Fjord at the X. Sweeney fighting for possession, trying to get it to his poles. Fjord had it. Still a loose ball.
Look at this. They're all juggling out there.
And Doxey comes out of the pack with it. Michael Doxey's got wheels. Flag down on the far side. Doxey feeds it. Gregory's shot denied by Morrison. And it'll be a man-up opportunity coming for the Silver Warriors.
Gregory, I can't believe how cliche this sounds. I was going to say, Gregory, you really wanted that one. You could tell slamming the stick. It's right off the transition play. You're not going to get a much better shot than that. I sound like the announcer from Dodgeball. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do. Thanks, Scott.
Thanks, Scott. Both teams really want this one.
Bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it works. So Niski goes man up to start the fourth quarter in a tie game. Spacing it out against that Shaker zone, which is down a man right now. At the head, the point position, that's Lucas Quinn. He stays up there 20 yards out. Quinn, the trigger man. Across the field, quick shot and a goal. Griffin King takes advantage of the man down and puts Niskayuna back in front.
We'll see this shot again on the replay. Niski took it slow, had the man-up opportunity. Zone not quite as successful when they're down a man. No trickery, no hot sauce on that. Just a really standard left-handed shot.
Griffin King, only a sophomore, but has already committed to play collegiately at Brown. Not a bad place to go. Sweeney's trying to win one and take it himself. There's the win, carries it down, lost it. Gonna have to fight for the ground ball over there. And his teammates come and bail him out. Connor Wolf goes and scoops up the ground ball, but Sweeney did his job again. 11 minutes to go, fourth quarter.
I'm gonna see if I can sort of articulate this in some way. Shaker, in a way, is really outplaying Niski tonight. They're really getting creamed on the possession count. I don't have the exact stats, but off the face-offs alone, you know, and look at the scoreboard. They're only down 1, and the goals that Niskayuna is having, the goals that they have racked up, some of them are from really far out, 20 yards. Some of them are man-up scenarios. So Shaker's doing such a great job, at least defensively. Niski just proven to be a little too strong. Sometimes even the best you can do isn't enough.
Well, Niskayuna's 12-4 at the face-off X. So 12 of the 16 have gone to Niskayuna. What did Sean Hennessy say he wanted? He wanted 50%, and they're not close to that yet, as you just said, only down a goal in the fourth quarter.
Well, imagine what it could be if it was 50%. And that's the point. And not to say that Niski's getting outplayed, because, of course, you can't say that when they're winning.
Hidden ball trick. They try it again. Doxey will get it back and send it wide. Morrison comes out of the cage to get the back breakup. Brendan Morrison didn't flinch. He jumped out of the crease, got as close as he could before it got over the end line, and they'll give that one to Shaker. A couple times now you've seen Doxy and Quinn try that hidden ball trick. It's going to be interesting to see if they can pull that thing off. I feel like that's been a long time coming for them. Here's Pepe going to carry it in all by his lonesome self. That dude is pretty quick. They picked him up, though. Good decision to not let number 4 go down.
It's like a gazelle out there. He just seriously.
Yeah, he is pretty quick. I'll give it back to Pepe. Now Stiso in the middle of the field. So going to skip it across for Andrew O'Connor.
Niski needs a stop here. Shaker able to take hold of really all the momentum, the energy from the crowd.
Here's Stiso trying to go one-on-one with Wise. Swim move to get free. Spins it back. Didn't have anywhere to take it to the cage, but a good move to get open. Pepe with it one more time. Trying to drive in. 2 come to him, so he carries behind. Gets a screen from Julian. Pepe continues to possess. Gives it away to Cerati.
Do you even need me here? That was some good lacrosse jargon.
I'm there. I've learned a thing or two listening to you. What can I say?
That was great.
It picks up. Here's Pepe trying to bowl his man down. Nothing doing. Julian behind. Going to circle. Puts the brakes on. Doubles back. Save made by Renesi. Loose ball taken away by Niskayuna. Here's the Silver Warriors with a chance to run the other way. And speeding the other way goes Niski. Quinn couldn't catch it cleanly. Picks it up off the deck.
Couldn't catch it clean, but kept the possession, which really at the end of the day is what's most important. I'm just still impressed by my partner here. Swim move, carry to the X.
I mean, come on, we've done a couple games together. I listen to what you say every once in a while.
That was great.
I'm here to entertain. under 8 to go, 4th quarter. Niskayuna the 7-6 lead with possession.
This looks like a... I could be mistaken here, but it looks like a slightly different zone. They're locking off on the crease now, at least it appears to be.
Quinn lost it, had it taken away, knocked away and taken away by Will Pepe, but then Niskayuna right back into the mix as Doxy goes in and takes it back. So that was an opportunity missed for Shaker. Good job to take it away, just couldn't keep it.
Not something you expect from Quinn again.
And then you don't expect that. A bad pass and a turnover. I don't know if it's a bad pass or a bad catch, but either way, it's a Niskayuna turnover, and Shaker, 7:15 to go, 4th quarter, going to get a shot to tie.
It's a bad result if you are rooting for the Silver, but if you're in blue, or if you're on the right side of those bleachers from our perspective, that is exactly what you want to see. Just over 7 minutes.
John Stewart skips it across the field, gets it to Chris Kalikia. Kalikia pushes it ahead. Kalikia, who will play collegiately at Hudson Valley Community College, and a timeout taken on the field. And that is a Sean Hennessy timeout for Shaker. And there's a good look at the head coach for the Blue Bison, who's trying to keep an unbeaten season going here tonight. 14-0 coming into this one. His team ranked 7th in the state in Class A. Owners of the 2nd longest winning streak in the state right now at the 14 consecutive games, second only to Cold Spring Harbor, who's won back-to-back Class C state championships. They've won 22 games in a row.
We're going to get a replay here for Niskayuna's most recent goal.
This will be Griffin King.
Pass gets to the lefty, number 29. Able to just have perfect placement. That's really all this goal comes down to. The goalie was in place. The shot really wasn't that fast comparatively to what you can see. You know, shots getting up into the 80s, 90s, sometimes 100 miles an hour. That shot was just placement. It was shoot to not necessarily hit the net, but shoot to miss the goalie.
King's goal. First of the night, 22nd of the season. Broke a 6-6 tie. Shaker has not led in this game tonight. They have been tied a couple times, but they have not led here this evening. Good fan support from both schools supporting their teams. The fan base has traveled well. Niskayuna just down the street. North Colony not that far away, so Great place to be on this Tuesday night.
This is the time in the game where, and you hear this so much, but where it comes down to heart. So what we've seen in the first 3 quarters of the game is that these are evenly matched teams. Like, there's no question about that. So now, what is the difference maker when there's just under 7 minutes to go, when the palms start getting sweaty, when the legs start shaking?
Who are the big play guys down the stretch, right?
Yeah, it comes down to heart. It comes down to composure.
Well, and there's certainly, on the Niskayuna side, I'm sure there's a been there, done that mentality. For Shaker, this is trying to get over a proverbial hump. I know it's a Class B school tonight, but you're trying to make a run at a section title, something you haven't done in a long time. Boy, this would be one heck of a way to close out your regular season. I know there's a game Thursday, but all the momentum in the world. Pepe will drive in. That was a huge stick check from behind.
Yes.
That never got in on the goaltender, and going the other way, Niskayuna with it. I didn't see who the stick check was, but it eventually leads up to Justin Wise feeding Quinn, who burns it down low, and defense to offense. No surprise, Quinn right there in clutch time.
A bigger goalie, it would behoove you on the offensive end to shoot low, and that's exactly what Luke Quinn has done tonight. He's taken some higher shots, probably to throw off the goalkeeper, to set up shots like this later in the game. Pretty successful night here for Luke Quinn. 4 goals, 3 assists on the night.
In a 7-point night for Luke Quinn.
And it is not over.
44 goals and 24 assists coming into the game. And he's added 7 to that total. Now a 2-goal lead. Again, 2 goals is the largest it's been, so don't feel like Shaker's ever been out of this thing. Down a couple goals, and now 6 minutes to go and with possession. So the Blue Bison have been here before. They're just going to need to have a big final 6 here to close this thing out. Cerati behind the cage. Give it off for Luke Julian. Julian calling for Cheney. Let's see if Cheney sets a screen. He does. Here's Julian. Back for Cheney. Cheney behind the cage. Going to shovel it in. It never got in on the goaltender, but the loose ball comes all the way back out to Cerati. Cerati scoops it up. He's getting whacked at by that long pole and plays it ahead and gets it back to the center of the field, eventually to Andrew O'Connor.
Great communication here by the Warriors. A lot's happening in a short amount of time as the pace of the game is starting to pick up with just over 5 minutes left. So defensively, you need to really be on your A game, communicate.
Cerati found an open man. O'Connor from a tough angle. Good job by Andrew O'Connor to slow down, take the step, and score the goal to pull within 1.
We'll see this on the replay. A skip pass to the far side. Stick in the offhand. You'd really want your stick in the left hand there because you're on the right side of the net. Gives you more angle to shoot at, but stick in the offhand doesn't matter. Beats the goalie near side. And we're within 1.
First of the night for Andrew O'Connor comes in a big spot, 16th of the year. And O'Connor, the junior, pulls Shaker back within 1. So at the X, they'll fight for it down the stretch. Sweeney comes away with it. Guy, we're under 5 minutes to go. What do you got to do to win this game? Either side, what are the keys to close this thing out?
Well, if you're Niski, I think it comes down to really just guarding number 4, Pepe. He really has been a part, just like how Luke Quinn for Niski has been really a part of almost every goal scored. So is Pepe in a way, whether it's off an assist, direct goal himself, or just really creating the offense from a clear. So really stopping number 4 is going to be the key. If they can do that, I think they'll come out on top. For Shaker, honestly, if Shaker can just not make mistakes at this point, if they can just pick up some more of the possession count, I think the tipping scale might lean towards the Bison's side.
We'll stop play for a second. There was an extra ball in the field, so they throw that back out of play. And Niskayuna possesses, 4:03 to go. They had it with Doxy on the far side. Now they'll move it back behind, and Doxy with it will eventually lead to Luke Quinn. Under 4 to go. Niskayuna the 1-goal lead. Quinn skips it across. Gets it for King, now gets it back. Don't let him shoot. Back for Griffin King, now back for Quinn. You can see the defense starting to close on a little bit further on Quinn and on that Niskayuna offense. Doxy gives it back for Quinn. Quinn will let it rip, and he does it again. Quinn has done that so many times tonight, and he strikes again to make it 9-7.
If you are Syracuse University, Coach Donahue, who does a lot of the recruiting, you're happy with your choice tonight. Committed to Syracuse before he even stepped on a varsity lacrosse field, because this is the kind of stuff that you could just foresee when you go to the fortune teller. Another crank shot on the outside.
5-3 for Quinn. Under 3.5 to go. And Quinn is trying to single-handedly put Niskayuna on his back and close out the regular season with a win. Make senior day even more memorable and hand Shaker their first loss of the season. Sweeney has done his part at the X with another win. Back behind, here's a cutter streaking in. Couldn't get a clean pitch and catch. They were trying to hit Wise, and they just couldn't make the connection. Shaker going to need to come up with this ground ball here, and they do. Stiso, that was almost a bad turnover for the Blue Bison, going the length of the field, not able to pick up the clear. Stiso with it and carries behind.
That possession right there was huge for Shaker, monumental. If Niski came up with that ball, I think that would have been the nail in the coffin.
Instead, possession for the Blue Bison, down by 2. Been here many times tonight. They have tied the game but never led, but also 2 is the largest deficit, but that is a bad pass and a turnover, intercepted by the Bison, intercepted by Liam Evans and Mike Vorgang halfway down the field to burn the timeout. With 2:26 to go with possession, Vorgang races down to get the timeout, and maybe his team the victory. Still a long way to go, but that's a big possession right there that Niskayuna gets back.
Yeah, it's such a hard call because 2.5 minutes is so much time in the sport of lacrosse. It really is. There's so much that can happen. I mean, 2 goals in this sport can literally happen in a 10 to 15 second span. It really can. But I'd say with the way this game is going, because Niski has all of the momentum, largely due in part to the dominance that Owen Sweeney has had at the faceoff X, and because they now have possession, unless Shaker extends that zone, which I'm sure they're talking about right now in the timeout, what are they going to do? They need to extend their zone and come up with a turnover. So unless they do that, unless they really push their zone out and pressure the adjacent passes and put pressure on the ball handler, that could be the nail coffin, or the nail in the coffin, rather.
One thing that Sean Hennessy had said about his Shaker team, not only this season, but as a whole for his program, trying to take the leap to the next level. They've been very good for a pretty good stretch here in Section 2 in Class A. They've been a semifinal team. They want to get into that championship game. They want to get over that hump and win a section title. They're not there yet, but tonight, this is an over-the-hump kind of moment, a take-the-leap to the next level kind of moment, beating a team like Niskayuna. And I know they're a Class B team, but you're trying to get your program to that spot, and that's what they're trying to do here tonight. They're going to need to rally here in the final 2 minutes and change, and without possession, they're going to need to force some turnovers. Logan Michelson carries it in and drives it back behind the cage for full, and eventually into the stick of Quinn.
Now what is Shaker going to do? They need to push out. I'm telling you, there's only 2 minutes left here. Yeah. They need to push out that zone. Well, now
stall warning does go on, so the shot clock does go on. So Quinn will have to keep it in the box.
Well, they have to keep it in the box, but there's really no rush.
Yeah, I said shot clock.
Yeah.
I'm thinking college game.
Exactly.
It's a keep it in, not a shot clock. It's just a keep it in the box stall warning at the high school level.
That's exactly right.
So Quinn's hounded back there, and he does turn it over. They fight for the ground ball, and a push will be called against Shaker, trying to get position. Foal got knocked over with 1:26 to go. Shaker has the ball again. Shaker commits the penalty, and Niskayuna keeps the ball.
If you are Lou Quinn there, when they try and suffocate you like that, you need to make your move a little sooner. That's all you got to do. Just make the move a little sooner.
Stall warning is on again, so it's a keep it in. Doxey stick check, loses the stick and the ball. Shaker comes away with it. That's what they had to do. Chris Kalikia comes away and now skips it across the field for John Stewart. Just over a minute to go. Shaker trying to get it into the offensive end.
Get that ball to Pepe. Let him move the ball in transition. Let him get a full head of steam.
Sean Hennessy will take the timeout with 59 seconds to go in the fourth quarter with the ball in the offensive end and down by 2 goals. All right, so let's put you in the head of Sean Hennessy. You just said it. Is it all Pepe, or is Pepe perhaps a decoy? How are you calling this last 59?
If I was Pepe, I want the ball on my stick. And that's a personality thing, right? So when I was a player, especially like on the basketball court, if we got into these situations, I'm in the huddle with my coach saying, give me that ball.
Yep.
If Pepe's not that type of guy, well, then what you might see is utilizing him as a decoy or utilizing him to at least create for someone else. Dodge hard, draw the slide, move it, and sort of let someone else score the goal. In the Niskay huddle, talking defensively, if I'm Coach Delano, I think you make Pepe prove that he can do something that he hasn't yet shown all night, which is shoot from the outside. So back off of him. Play, give him more space, right? Put a little bit more faith in your goalkeeper. Dare him to shoot from the outside. Dare him to shoot the way that Lucas Quinn has been shooting all night from 15, more like 20 yards out.
Well, Cerati's a guy, too. They like the way he dodges. He's a good finisher, and he's a kid they say just kind of makes it happen. Then you've got Pepe, who they call their big play kid. So let's see who it winds up going to, needing 2 goals here in the final 58 seconds to tie this game.
Here it comes.
Here's Pepe running downhill. No room to shoot there, so he carries behind. Gets a screen from Cheney. Still with it is Pepe. Bouncing it in and scoring with 42 seconds to go. The man you thought would get the ball gets it and scores, Nick Pepe.
Just saying. I called it.
No big deal.
Just saying. Gets a full head of steam, comes down the right side. Teammate tries to set a screen. Don't need it. Send them all at me, he says.
3rd of the night for Pepe, 29th of the year. That one with the bouncer pulls them within 1.
That's a grown man move.
42 seconds to go. This is a huge face-off now.
Now let me jump in here. This is the face-off that Shaker needs to keep that momentum, conservation of momentum.
Aiden Fuhr for Shaker, Owen Sweeney for Niskayuna.
Owen, who's dominated all game, right? Can you also dominate when it really counts? Yes, he can.
Sweeney wins it cleanly and wins it to himself. And Niskayuna plays it back for full. Shaker is going to have to come force a turnover if they want a chance.
They have to keep it in the box. The refs are being very strict about that right now, calling it immediately.
20 seconds to go, and Quinn with it on the end line. Quinn now hounded by the double team. 18 seconds to go, and Mike Borgang will call the timeout. 16 seconds left. Niskayuna with the ball, trying to run out the clock with a 1-goal lead. Did I say when we first got here, I'm just asking, did I say this game could be 9-8? Was that something I said to you?
Am I supposed to lie and say that?
There it is.
And say that...
I see how it is.
That you did, or?
See how it is.
I think I've already paid you enough compliments this evening. Yes, you did.
So, if you're Mike Vorgang, we were just in the Shaker huddle with what are you going to do? And, they went to Pepe, as you said. He scored the goal. What's the call here? Is it in Luke Quinn's stick, and his job is to just get out of trouble?
If it's me, I'm having my goalkeeper lock off whichever offensive player is on the crease. That will enable us to double team the ball immediately out of the timeout and still have someone covering every other man. So you're completely locking off all adjacent passes. So it's probably going to be Luke Quinn having the ball in his stick. So you lock off all adjacent passes, you double team, and you have your goalie involved. So it's really one of those 7-on-6 defensive scenarios for Shaker.
Well, we shall see how.
We got Doxey starting with it, I believe. Is that right?
The Blue Bison play this. In fact, the goaltender, Morrison, is all the way on the other end of the field. So you've got more short stick and long stick defenders down here with Morrison over the 50-yard line. So Doxey's got it. They're going to double team him with an open goal.
I wouldn't even be surprised if he just runs up the sideline.
So Doxey's going behind the cage to try and run this thing out. Stewart's in pursuit. He doubles back. Doxey still hanging on to it with 10. Comes around. Doesn't take the shot. Fires it behind the cage with 4 seconds to go. It'll hop around, and that'll do it. Niskayuna ends Shaker's perfect season with a 1-goal win.
Coach probably said to him, all right, we're going to put the ball in your stick. Just don't drop your stick this time. He had his stick checked out the play before as both teams go and give some love to their goalies.
Well, it did not disappoint. 9-8 the final score, and both of these teams may very well be section champs when this season is over. We're not done yet. We'll come back for postgame right after this.
We are all about New York sports like never before.
Touchdown!
With more depth.
It is. Goal!
More access. High school. College. And we're just getting started. What you live for lives here. Your sports, our sports. Spectrum Sports. Major League Soccer kicks off, and Spectrum Sports is there.
He takes it into the box, cuts it back right, Phillips, and it's in! Oh, what a goal!
We survey the latest news from around the league with host Brad Porter and the experts.
Thank you very much. Over here with the Center Circle Gang, Nick Garcia and Andy Edwards.
Who's losing steam? And who's finding the net?
Osho with a goal! What a start for the Impact!
There is a place where dreams arise. Stars are born. And greatness is made. What you live for lives here. Spectrum Sports.
Well, it didn't disappoint. 9-8 the final score. Niskayuna over Shaker, ending the Blue Bison's perfect season. Back upstairs one more time. That's Guy. I'm Chris. It was everything you could hope it would be in a high school lacrosse game. It was tight, it was hard fought, and it was dramatic to the end. Down on the field is the head coach of the Niskayuna Silver Warriors, Mike Vorgang. Mike, first things first, congratulations. Nice win tonight.
Thanks, guys.
Mike, what did it take for your kids to, gut this thing out, because it never got larger than a 2-goal lead at any point?
Yeah, basically that's what it was. It was just a gut check. They played hard. They were well organized defensively. So really that's what it was. It was just a gut check. Our guys just kept playing hard.
Hey, Coach, congrats on the win. Not to put you too much on the spot here, but let us in on what goes on in the last couple seconds of a game in that final timeout. What are you saying to your guys?
It was pretty simple. I just said to Mike Doxey, just run as fast as you can. So it wasn't really that much of a X's and O's type thing. It was. I asked him if I thought he could do it. I asked him, can you do this? He said yes, and get the ball and run as fast as you can. He did it.
Yeah. Mike, I know this is the regular season finale for you guys, and now you wait for the sectional seeding and then the tournament to start in Section 2 and Class B. Two-part question. How can this game help you guys moving forward, and where do you feel like you are now that sectionals are the next thing up?
No, I mean, anytime we get to play a quality opponent, a team that's ranked top 10 in the state, gives us an opportunity to see where we are, watch film, and just try to get better each and every practice from playing games like this. So it's great. And as far as sectionals go, seedings are Friday. We'll find out who we play in the semis, and then get some film and just get to work. Basically, just get to work, get a game plan ready, and then try to execute it to the best of our ability.
Good stuff. Congrats, Mike. Hopefully we'll see you again on Spectrum Sports coming up down the road.
Thanks, guys.
Mike Borgang, the head coach of the Niskayuna Silver Warriors. Hard-fought win, kind of, as he said, the gut check game. They kind of grounded out, and that's exactly what you would expect. You had a Class A school who was undefeated, second longest win streak in the state. They weren't going to give up. I think whichever way this went, this is a big win for either program tonight. It's Niskayuna.
Yeah, and that Shaker zone proved to be very, very challenging for them as we see some of the stats here for both squads. Really the one that jumps out to me here, Chris, is the face-off count. It was, which is not even, there we go, dominated by Owen Sweeney tonight. Yeah. I mean, that was really, really the difference maker, because face-offs lead to possessions lead to translating on the goal.
And the turnover battle actually goes the way of Shaker, yet they were so good at the face-off act for the Silver Warriors. That's why they win the game. All right, so we go back down to the field, joined now by Lucas Quinn, who had a pretty nice night tonight. Ho-hum, an 8-point night, Luke. 5 goals, 3 assists. How good did this feel tonight?
Yeah, it feels good. That's a great team, and I think we played hard. It definitely could have been a little cleaner, but yeah, it feels good.
Quinny, I saw a jump shot out there.
Hey, Guy, how are you?
I'm doing well, man.
Took that right from you back in 09.
Well, 09 or 10, but great job out there, man. Listen, help me understand a little bit about how you get your teams involved. You had 8 points tonight, 5 goals, but what do you do, coming into some of these games, not to put you too much on the spot here, but what do you do to try and get some of your other guys some love so that they feel, that boost of confidence that you come into games with?
Yeah, I think I'm definitely drawing a lot of attention from the other teams, so I'm always have my head up, looking at the back pipes, looking for the throwback, and just trying to find the open guys.
Lucas, when you look at where you are right now, you close the regular season 13-2. You'll end it on a 7-game win streak, and now it's the most important time. Sectionals will start next week. Tell me about this group and the mindset moving into sectionals and what the ultimate goal is for this Silver Warrior team.
Yeah, I think we're ready to go. I mean, we definitely got a couple days or a week or so of hard work and practice, but definitely looking forward to it.
Good stuff, Luke. Congratulations. We'll see you hopefully again on Spectrum.
For sure. Thanks a lot.
Lucas Quinn, 5 goals, 3 assists as Niskayuna pulls out the 9-8 win over Shaker. And I said, kind of going to break before we signed off there before the last segment, listen, both of these teams could be section champs. You've got an A and you've got a B. I think they're some of the best teams we have around. I know there's other teams that will contend, but boy, on paper, these are the 2 best we've seen so far.
Yeah, and it's one thing to sort of have a match like this under your belt at all, but it's another thing to have it be your last game of the season, and that's really what you want going into the postseason. You don't really want to go into sectionals or whatever against teams who really you play down against. Sometimes that happens. Not to poo-poo other teams, but when you play on another level and you come in and you see that they're really just not up to your caliber, it is hard sometimes not to play down. But both of these teams, 2 of the best in the state in their respective sections and in their respective classes. So that's really great to sort of prime those skills and make sure all the knives are sharp going into the postseason.
Didn't disappoint. It was a good one. Hope you enjoyed it as well. Niskayuna 9-8 over Shaker tonight. For Guy Waltman, I'm Chris Watson. For the entire Spectrum Sports crew, thanks for being with us. We'll see you again real soon. Night, everybody.
sports like never before.
Touchdown!
With more depth.
It is. Go!
More access. High school. College. And we're just getting started. What you live for lives here. Your sports, our sports. Spectrum Sports. Major League Soccer kicks off, and Spectrum Sports is there.
He takes it into the box, cuts it back right, Phillips, and it's in! Oh, what a goal!
We survey the latest news from around the league with host Brad Porter and the experts.
Thank you very much. Over here with the Center Circle Gang, Nick Garcia and Andy Edwards.
Who's losing steam? And who's finding the net?
Osho with a goal! What a start for the Impact!
There is a place where dreams arise. Stars are born. And greatness is made. What you live for lives here. Spectrum Sports. We are all about New York sports like never before.
Touchdown!
With more depth.
It is. Go!
More access. High school. College. And we're just getting started. What you live for lives here. Your sports, our sports. Spectrum Sports.
Two of the best teams in Section 5 high school boys lacrosse set to battle it out here tonight in Pittsford as the host Panthers take on the surging Fairport Red Raiders next on Spectrum Sports. From Pittsburgh Sutherland High School, welcome to the Section 5 Boys Lacrosse Game of the Week on Spectrum.
We choose Darien Lake. Close to home, close to the heart.
Syrian people like anybody else, a human being. They laugh, they cry, they love.
Those folks that are on the other side of that border, we need them.
If you are in the right place at the wrong time, you will be taken.
It's a worry we live with day after day.
Home is the people you are with.
I'm very grateful what the country has offered to me, so I'm so ready to give back.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Oasis High Field Open MRI, the most powerful, comfortable, and truly high field open MRI in the capital region.
I'm Spectrum News meteorologist Ryan Finn here with you on just an absolutely beautiful day here across the region. In my opinion, top 10 kind of day, as we have temperatures heading into the upper 80s, possibly even around 90. Let's get a look at our satellite and radar from the past several hours. Just a few passing clouds from time to time, just fair weather clouds. And while it is pretty hot, the humidity, at least for the time, is pretty low. Looking at the national scene up and down the eastern seaboard, things are quiet. You see a system out over the Midwest extending into the Great Lakes, responsible for over 24 tornadoes yesterday, slowly building east, and that's eventually going to bring a cold front through the region some point tomorrow night or early Friday morning. So getting a look at our future cast, you can see that we're dry here for the remainder of today and also dry through tonight and also into much of tomorrow. I think we'll see some clouds tend to build up tomorrow afternoon, and by day's end, especially west of Albany and also to the north, there could be a pop-up shower, maybe a thunderstorm. Better chance tomorrow night and into early Friday morning for a few showers and a couple thunderstorms, but even those should be few and far between. Most of the day Friday, especially by the afternoon, will be dry, and I think the second half will be bright and sunny with temperatures in the 70s. So for the remainder of today, we're going to call it hot and also breezy. The record high at Albany is 90. We will be somewhere in the neighborhood of that. Good chance of tying, possibly breaking it. Tonight, warm, becoming muggy with lows in the 60s. And as we look at our 7-day forecast, while we won't break any records coming up for tomorrow, temperatures will actually be a little bit warmer with highs in the low 90s, cooling down into the 70s for Friday, but still a very nice day. Weekend forecast looks great, featuring seasonable temperatures, dry weather with highs ranging from 70 to 75.
Sky Tracker Doppler Radar is sponsored by Leah Collision Center, where we do it all, including our own car rental department. Check out leahcars.com for more information.
Severe weather proved deadly yesterday as intense storms, including tornadoes, were reported in several states. Reed Binion reports.
I know there was walls on top of people, is how it's described to me.
Barron County Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald addressing the devastation left after a deadly tornado reportedly tore through a mobile home park in northwest Wisconsin Tuesday.
I would describe it as total destruction. There's a whole row where there should be trailers that there's nothing but debris.
The storm leaving splintered wood and twisted metal in its wake, along with dozens of injuries. Some victims suffering only minor cuts, others carried out on stretchers. There were reports of tornadoes in other states as well, including Texas and Oklahoma, where the hard-hit community of Elk City saw injuries and widespread damage. The storm tearing roofs off of some homes while completely destroying others.
We have approximately 50 to 75 homes that were damaged. We have several homes that were completely destroyed.
Emergency crews pulling the occupant of one home out of the wreckage after the structure collapsed.
I would say that we are still trying to account for everyone at this time. We are sending fire departments into these neighborhoods. They're working house to house, home to home, looking for people.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.
World War II broke a lot of families apart, but years later, it's bringing two veterans together. Our Jacqueline Kangro has the story of two of the men inducted into the New York State Senate Veterans Hall of Fame.
At 91 and 93 years old, you would think Sal Famularo and Tom Smith were brothers.
I got to take care of the old man. He's got a couple of years on me, you know.
But it took a chance encounter in Walmart just a few years ago for the Amsterdam and Schenectady natives to meet. Tom says he was tipped off by the hat Sal was wearing.
I started kidding him about being a Marine. He says, "Well, smart ass, what outfit were you in?" I said, "The Marines."
Both in the 4th Marine Division, 2nd Battalion, spending time in Saipan, Tinian, and Iwo Jima during the height of World War II.
He was in Fox Company, I was in George Company. We probably ran across one another a dozen times.
Both have the Purple Heart, and Sal says he almost died in Iwo Jima. He was lying on the ground, shot when a tank operator drove over him.
Believe me, there's about that much clearance from the ground to the top of the tank. It went over me. All of a sudden I heard that clank.
That clank opened the bottom of the tank and allowed the operator to pull Sal inside. As fate would have it, Tom helped build those tanks when he was in high school.
And I would cut a square out and then put the hinges in and everything else. But he always
See, that was an escape hatch.
Yeah. Right?
And they were both there during one of the most iconic moments of World War II, the raising of the American flag in Iwo Jima.
Remember the ships blowing their horns there?
Ships are blowing their horns and everything else.
Yeah.
Well, then a couple days later, I was running again, and as I came up to another foxhole, the guy says to me, "Turn around." I turned around, and sure enough, the big flag was going up and the other was coming down.
So with their lives being so parallel,
Dr. Smith and Sal Famularo,
it would make sense that both men were inducted into the New York State Senate Veterans Hall of Fame together.
He knows where I'm coming from, and I know where he's coming from. Because don't forget, we lived the same kind of a life.
Reliving their time at war during their weekly trips for coffee. In Albany, Jacqueline Kangro, Spectrum News.
We need to take a quick break, but stay with us. There's more local news coming up. I'm Camille DeLongis.
And I'm Jody Kenny. And you are watching Spectrum News. Stay with us. We'll be right back with your top stories and your weather forecast.
Today in New York history. In 1792, the New York Stock Exchange is founded as 24 brokers and merchants signed the Buttonwood Agreement. And in 1997, North Syracuse's John Heinerwaddle passes away at the age of 90. Heinerwaddle and his family are credited with initially marketing salt potatoes as the city's best export, reinforcing Syracuse's tradition of being known as the Salt City. That's Today in New York history.
Today in New York history was produced in conjunction with the New York State Museum. This portion of the news is sponsored by Callanan Industries, a leading supplier of paving materials and construction services across New York State for over 134 years.
There's a lot to consider when choosing your next car dealer. You deserve unsurpassed customer service, a great selection of new Hondas to choose from, and of course, the best price. That's why your Honda dealer is Keeler Honda.
Right now, lease a new Civic for just $189 a month with zero down. And right now, during the Perfect Accord sales event, drive a new Accord for just $187 a month, also with zero down.
Come shop us today, and you'll say, my dealer is Keeler.
At Family Dan's, we promise you the same special care we give to our own family. That means a perfect installation on every new heating and air conditioning system we sell, and doing whatever it takes to save you money. Right now, we can help you save thousands on a high-efficiency Bryant system. It's a great opportunity to upgrade to new air conditioning. And with the skilled workmanship and attention to detail we bring to every job, you'll see that we really do treat our customers like family. Call Family Dan's now and save on your new system.
Capital Land. Don't pay top dollar for a new vehicle. Get quality for less at the Keeler Pre-Owned Center. Lexus, Mercedes, Volvo, Acura, Volkswagen, Toyota, Porsche, Cadillac, BMW, Audi. Rigorously inspected, meticulously maintained. Cars, trucks, sports cars, and SUVs. The Keeler Pre-Owned Center gives you peace of mind with customer first service, competitive pricing, pre-owned vehicles that look and run like new. All backed by the Keeler name. The Keeler Pre-Owned Center. It's why your dealer should be Keeler. Route 7 Latham.
It's a new day, the start of something big. Time Warner Cable is now Spectrum, redefining what a cable company can be, enhancing your current TV experience and giving you better ways to connect to what matters most. With Spectrum Internet, you'll get the fastest starting speeds, 60 megabits per second, enough speed to connect all your devices with no slowdowns, plus no data caps and a free modem. Just $29.99 a month when you call 844-545-1999. Spectrum Voice lets you enjoy reliable unlimited nationwide calling, plus unlimited calling to Canada, Puerto Rico, and Mexico, all with no added taxes or fees. Just $19.99 a month. Call 844-545-1999. When you add Spectrum Internet and Voice to your current TV service, you get it all, with no contracts and our 30-day money-back guarantee. Call 844-545-1999. Welcome to a new day. Welcome to Spectrum.
When local news breaks, count on Spectrum News for the very latest.
Coming up here on Spectrum News, an Albany police officer will be arraigned this week in connection with a hit and run earlier this month. While President Trump once again calls media treatment unfair during a commencement address, Democrats strengthening their fight, even calling for something that hasn't been seen in 2 decades. Plus, a Schenectady man is arrested in connection with a string of armed robberies across the city. The details ahead. A Mr. Dingaling driver arrested on DWI charges has been fired. We'll tell you what the company's owner has to say next. And which craft beer will take home the title of Best in the State? A blind tasting contest is taking place later today.
You're watching Spectrum News all day.
Hello and thanks for joining us here on Spectrum News. I'm Jody Kenny.
And I'm Camille DeLongis. Your top stories are coming right up, but first, let's get a check of the forecast.
Mostly sunny, breezy, and hot today. Your highs ranging from the mid-80s to around 90. For tonight, mostly clear, warm, and muggy. Lows in the 60s.
A suspended Albany police officer has been charged in connection to a hit-and-run crash earlier this month. Police say Sean Dixon was off duty on May 4th when he hit a car in the area of West Lawrence Street and Myrtle Avenue and fled the scene. According to police, the victim did have minor injuries. Shortly after the crash, police say they found the vehicle involved was registered to Dixon. When Dixon arrived at work a few hours later, he was suspended. He is charged with leaving the scene of a personal injury auto accident and is set to be arraigned Friday. Dixon has been with the police department for less than 2 years.
Today, Mr. Speaker, to call for the impeachment of the President of the United States of America.
Well, that was Representative Al Green from Texas calling for the impeachment of President Donald Trump today. This comes after reports that the president personally asked the former FBI Director James Comey in February to stop the Bureau's investigation into former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn. The White House has denied the reports. This latest controversy has lawmakers on both sides of the aisle criticizing President Trump, including Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, who has been very critical of the president's alleged actions.
The events of the last 2 weeks have shaken my confidence in this administration's competence and credibility. There's been revelation after revelation, allegation after allegation of misconduct on the part of the president and his team. In the past 2 days, it's reached new heights.
A source close to Comey says that he was concerned enough about the meeting to write it down. Those and any other records of the meeting are expected to be subpoenaed by Congress.
Meanwhile, President Trump delivers the commencement address for the Coast Guard Wednesday. While he did not address the most recent accusations, he did once again call out the media.
Look at the way I've been treated lately, especially by the media. No politician in history, and I say this with great surety, has been treated worse or more unfairly. You can't let them get you down. You can't let the critics and the naysayers get in the way of your dreams.
A Schenectady man is arrested in connection with 4 recent armed robberies across the city. Police say Victor Mattson is responsible for the robberies at the Dollar General on Broadway, Rite Aid, the Family Dollar, and a CVS. He is charged with robbery, displaying a firearm, and resisting arrest.
The Mr. Dingaling ice cream truck driver charged with DWI is now out of a job. The owner of Mr. Dingaling Ice Cream, Brian Collis, confirms that 51-year-old Thomas Powers was fired this week. Colony police say they caught Powers swerving on Watervliet Shaker Road on Monday. When officers stopped his truck, they say that Powers was slurring and it also smelled of alcohol. He was charged with aggravated DWI. Collis says that Mr. Dingaling drivers are seasonal contractors. Every April, each driver goes through a background check from the National Association of Ice Cream Vendors. It certifies their driver's license and criminal record. According to Collis, all of Powers' checks came back clean. Powers is due back in court next week. Fire crews were able to quickly put down a fire on Prince Court in Colony. Firefighters say the homeowner noticed flames coming out of the attic of the house this morning and called 911. Crews say that it was relatively easy to get the fire under control, but there was some extensive damage.
There's a lot of fire damage in the attic, so it probably will be inhabitable until it's repaired.
No clear word yet on the cause.
According to the School Boards Association, 99% of school budgets across the state were passed. This includes the North Colony School District, where voters not only approved the budget, but also a revised capital project. Under the plan, classrooms will be expanded at 4 elementary schools, and 6th graders will move from the elementary buildings into Shaker Junior High, which would then be rebranded as a middle school. The School Board Association also says 77% of override attempts statewide passed. Family and friends remember a 15-year-old boy who died while crossing a road in Fulton County. Calling hours and funeral services were held Wednesday at the Baptist Church of Northville for Ryan Fry. He was a sophomore at Broad Alban Perth High School. A car hit Fry Saturday night on Highway 29. Sheriff's deputies say the driver had a green light and visibility could have been a factor because of the rain. They say speed and alcohol did not play a role and no charges are expected. A bill aimed at helping families of fallen officers has unanimously passed the U.S. Senate. The legislation would reduce the backlog of families awaiting approval of survivor benefits for officers killed in the line of duty. The Justice Department tries to process survivor claims within 1 year of the time they are filed. However, many families wait longer than that. Recent data shows at the end of March, there were 756 active claims. Those claims have been pending for almost as many days, an average of 753. The bill now goes to the House of Representatives. New bipartisan legislation is being pushed to make airplanes safer for kids. The bill, created by Congressman John Faso and Sean Patrick Maloney, wants to ensure planes have emergency medical supplies for children. They are not currently required to carry doses for children. This comes amidst tension between the two congressmen after Faso's vote to approve the new federal health care plan. It came to a peak when earlier this month, Maloney went to Faso's district for a town hall event on the plan that Faso declined to attend.
Democrats in the state Senate want to add an equal rights amendment to the state constitution. The proposal detailed yesterday would add language banning discrimination based on gender, disability, sexual orientation, or identity, plus several other characteristics. Constitutional language adopted in 1938 outlaws discrimination based on race, color, creed, or religion. Further state laws prohibit discrimination based on other factors. Supporters of the measure say the protections need to be included in the state constitution and that existing rules need to be updated. Voters would decide whether to approve the amendment.
The stars are out at Albany International Airport today as movie crews are filming a scene for a new movie called Departures. Last month, the movie filmed in Kingston at the police station. Game of Thrones actress Maisie Williams and her co-star Asa Butterfield both played main characters in the film. Actors Brianna Venskis and Ken Jeong played two Kingston police officers in the movie. Preparations are well underway for this weekend's St. Sophia Greek Festival. The activities kick off Friday and end Sunday. Many people go for the delicious Greek food, including the baklava. Volunteers have been baking baklava since March and so far have 5,000 pieces made. But they say the food runs out fast.
It's just a food fest. But again, we also include the culture, the dancing, the religion. It's just everything is inclusive.
St. Sophia's festival starts Friday night at 6.
Will Brewery Ommegang take home the title of Best Craft Beer in New York State? Well, the Cooperstown Brewery is one of 5 finalists that moved on to the blind tasting contest set for this afternoon in New York City. Today's panel of judges include Chef Mario Batali and NFL Hall of Famer Thurman Thomas. Other finalists in this year's competition include Roscoe New York Beer Company in the Hudson Valley and Genesee Brewing in Rochester. More than 170 breweries signed up to participate and more than 42,000 votes were cast. More than 39 million Americans will travel at least 50 miles for Memorial Day weekend. This is according to estimates from AAA, which is forecasting numbers for Thursday, May 25th to Monday, May 29th. The Auto Club says it is the highest estimate since 2005 and reflects growth in the travel industry. More than 88% of people will drive despite having to pay the highest gas prices since 2015. AAA says that plenty of people also turn the holiday weekend into a destination vacation. The top 3 bookings are for Orlando, Rome, and London.
More headlines coming up, but first, let's get a check on your latest Weather on the Ones forecast.
You're tuned to Weather on the Ones on an absolutely beautiful summer-like day here across the region. I'm here at Empire State Plaza this afternoon where the sun is shining and temperatures might be heading for a record across much of eastern New York. Let's get a look at our satellite and radar picture. Just a couple fair weather clouds dotting the sky for the remainder of this afternoon. And even though temperatures are very warm, bordering on hot, we're looking at a low humidity and a nice breeze, which is going to keep things nice and comfortable for us. Taking a look at our futurecast now. You can see that we have dry weather for the remainder of this afternoon And also dry weather for tonight under a mostly clear sky. Temperatures are going to be warm, probably about 10 degrees warmer than last night. And the humidity is going to begin to creep up. May even want to turn on the AC if you have it. Now, going into tomorrow, temperatures will be even a bit warmer than today. We could be looking at low 90s for some spots in the Hudson Valley. And while many areas tomorrow afternoon will get through the day dry, there could be a shower, maybe a thunderstorm by the early evening, especially to the west and also north of Albany. Better chance for scattered showers and thunderstorms as we look at tomorrow night's forecast, which could linger into Friday morning. So getting a look at our forecast for today, high temperatures ranging from the mid 80s to around 90. The record high at Albany is 89. We'll have a shot at tying, possibly breaking that. Tonight, warm and muggy, lows in the 60s. And a look at tomorrow's forecast showing that we are even warmer and feeling a bit more humid with that slight chance for a shower or storm late.
This portion of the news is sponsored in part by Kohl's Collision, a safe quality collision repair at 4 locations to serve you better.
Mom? Grandma, it's us. Mom, are you here?
When home alone, an emergency can become a tragedy. However, with any of Life Alert's 3 emergency systems, help can be summoned immediately. Whether at home,
Help! I've fallen and I can't get up.
in the bathroom,
I've fallen in the shower.
and on the go.
Help! I've fallen in the park and I can't get up.
Don't worry, help is on the way.
Life Alert saves a life every 10 minutes.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-828-5051. That's 1-800-828-5051. Call now, 1-800-828-5051. For a free brochure, call 1-800-828-5051.
Syrian people like anybody else, they're human being. They laugh, they cry, they love.
Those folks that are on the other side of that border, we need them.
If you are in the right place at the wrong time, you will be taken.
It's a worry we live with day after day.
Home is the people you are with.
I'm very grateful what the country has offered to me, so I'm so ready to give back.
You're watching Spectrum News, the area's only 24-hour local news channel, exclusively on Spectrum.
I'm Vivian Lee from the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. Stocks are down as investors mull over concerns about the turmoil in Washington. Banks, including Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan and other financial companies, are falling sharply as bond yields tumble, meaning lower interest rates on loans. Let's check the numbers for you now. The Dow is down 334 points. The S&P 500 down 38 points, while the Nasdaq is